Hello, my friends. I am Ventox, your resident thick Danganronpa 2 addict. I wanted to stream yesterday, but Thursday night towards end of stream, I was starting to feel not great. Woke up yesterday morning and I was out of it. No way I could have streamed. I'm still a little bit sick today, so you're gonna hear me. My voice probably isn't gonna be 100% there, and I may be sniffly or sneezy, so apologies for that. I appreciate you guys, being patient with that. But we're back, and we left off at the end of last stream at the beginning of the episode 1 trial. So we are going to be jumping into basically the culmination of the first chapter, and then I'll probably move on to part of the second chapter depending on time frame, but there is a very slim chance that I'm going to finish chapter 2 tonight. I think I will be taking Danganronpa 2 a little slower than I took Danganronpa 1. Cheers, door. I also may need to break for hydration a little bit more often, just because, sick, fluids, yada yada. So, we are going to go ahead and just jump right in. Before I actually start the trial, I'm going to review our truth bullets and our notes, and just make sure that everything is fresh at the top of my head. Oh, good, right at the bottom there. Byakuya Togami was killed. The blue hue of our vacation is now a crimson red. Is the killer really one of us? Or is it someone else? The class trial starts now. So, let's go ahead and open the e-handbook, and we will review our truth bullets. I'm gonna try to mute my mic anytime if I have to, sniffle or sneeze, but I may miss it sometimes. Okay, so, Monokuma file number 1. The victim's body was discovered in the dining hall of the old building near the Hotel Mirai. Estimated time of death is 11:30 p.m. The victim was repeatedly stabbed over 10 times between the throat and abdominal region, resulting in death. Aside from that, the body has no other external injuries, and no chemicals such as poison were detected. The body under the table is face down, as if Byakuya were reaching for something. Alright. Next up, the knife. Bloodstained knife found under the table where the body was discovered. A glowing paint-like substance coats it. So, this is one of the big question marks for me, is who planted this knife here. One presumes that it was Byakuya himself, but that doesn't really square with a part of the evidence that I've got, so I'm not positive on this one yet. The blood stain under the table. A pool of blood formed around the body underneath the table. A lot of blood was spattered against the inside of the tablecloth. Also, there was no signs that the body was dragged through the blood stain. Now, this is really interesting because that implies that he was, killed under the table. He was already there when he was killed. But that's not necessarily 100% true. There is a bloody tablecloth that could be used in a number of ways, but I suspect is oh, there's no blood stains elsewhere, so he must have been killed right in this spot. Well, no, because this tablecloth was used to hide the actual truth. The gaps in the floorboard. Gundam dropped one of his earrings through the gap, so something thin could fit through here. We're thinking that the murder weapon was the skewer for the meat, and it was dropped through here to dispose of it, is my current guess. This one is pretty obvious. The AC and the irons were used in order to overload the breaker in order to turn off the lights at exactly 11:30. Night vision goggles found under the table where the body was discovered. Apparently it came from the supermarket. Now, the case that the night vision goggles came in was found inside the box that Byakuya was hanging on to. So the fact that this is here under the table with him, this makes me think that he is the one who had them, he's the one who used them, and that's how he understood, hey, what's going on here? So this I don't think is going to be a controversial item. I think this is just going to be kind of a fill-in-the-blanks kind of item. Of course, the embarrassing pose. This is probably the most key piece of evidence that we have. During the blackout, Mikan tripped and fell in the dining hall. By the time the lights came back on, she ended up in a compromising position. I don't know where this is gonna go, to be honest. What is that image? Welcome to Danganronpa 2, Ziggy. This is the second of our, compromising Mikan photos. Now what's interesting about this one is I still am suspicious of it. It feels too convenient for the killer that as soon as the lights came back on, all of the attention was drawn to the opposite end of the room from where the body was discovered. So, not feeling good about this one. I'm not saying I think Mikan did it, even though I thought she was. At first, I thought she was guilty. But, like, I don't know, man. This is suspect. The case Byakuya had with him, there's a lot of security equipment inside and a hard plastic case as well. So the hard plastic case is the container that the night vision goggles came in. The key to the other Duralumin case is inside here too, so we know that all of the weapons and things that were inside the case that Peko was guarding are off the table. They were not a part of this murder. Okay, so Ibuki basically just remembered who was saying what during the blackout. So this is the timeline of speech during the blackout. Mahiru, I think it is, goes, "Wah, it's a blackout." Soda goes, "Hey, I can't see anything." Ibuki says, "It's pitch black. My future is pitch black." Mahiru says, "Everyone calm down. We gotta stay calm in a situation like this." This is where these first few lines I don't think actually matter, but right here where Sayonji says, "Wah, don't step on my feet." That is the first significant line because it indicates movement. It indicates that somebody is crossing her position. Byakuya says, "What the hell? What's going on here?" And so I think that's him putting on the night vision goggles and seeing what the culprit is doing. Nagito says, "Ow, that is unexplained," which is very suspect. And I think that is, these three lines right here are the ones that matter the most. Then Akane says, "Turn on the damn lights, I can't eat like this, you know?" Teruteru comes in and says, "You guys, where are you? Wasn't the blackout just in the kitchen?" Sonia says, "Perhaps the breaker overloaded." Then Soda says, "I'll go get the breaker." And that's it. So these three characters' lines are the important ones. "Wah, don't step on my feet. What the hell is going on here? This is," and "ow." That right there is what matters most. The irons, we've already covered. Now, this blood-stained tablecloth in the laundry hamper. Nagito was the first person to actually go in there and do anything, and he was also very suspicious about, like, "Oh, hey, there was nothing in here, I promise, ha ha ha." And then we found this later, so that's very suspect. What could a blood-stained tablecloth have been used for? Now, it could have been used to, like, it could have been on the floor laid out somewhere and then stab, Byakuya, move him under, and then take it up so it looks like he was killed under the table. That's my best guess. What I do wonder still is, why didn't Byakuya, like, scream when he's being stabbed? That's my biggest unclear thing here right now. Keep going on. This one is absolutely out there, and I think the next one is as well. I have no idea how this is gonna come into play. The gas stove in the kitchen is powered by electricity. That's why Teruteru couldn't use it during the blackout. Oh yeah, the party dishes. Teruteru poured his heart and soul into cooking dishes. Akane and Peko were the only ones who ate them. And if a fire breaks out, the fire door in the hallway of the old building can be shut to keep the fire from spreading. But what do these three things matter? I think these two are going to be tied to one another. But, like, there wasn't a fire. At no point that we're aware of were the fire doors closed. So, I don't know. The kitchen equipment list. There's an iron plate for barbecue and a portable stove for cooking hot pots. Fuyuhiko came to the old building and then walked away outside. Byakuya got this note that said, "The first kill will happen tonight. Someone will definitely kill someone." The author of the letter is unknown. Kazuichi said that during the search for Byakuya after the blackout, he's headed straight to the office. He didn't see anyone there, including Peko. According to Mikan's autopsy, Byakuya sustained several puncture wounds to his chest and abdomen. The wounds were inflicted by a thin, sharp weapon, roughly 5 millimeters in diameter. So that we can definitely understand to be one of the missing skewers. Nekomaru kept trying to use the bathroom since before the party started, but someone was using it the whole time. He was able to enter the bathroom after Byakuya's body was discovered. Now, this is what's most interesting for me, is this is the last piece of evidence that we've got, is that bathroom was locked the entire time until after Byakuya's body was discovered. Everybody is accounted for at some point, except for Fuyuhiko. So, like, I still think Nagito is good for this one. I think Nagito is guilty. But it's possible that somehow, some way, Fuyuhiko is the one who, like, got under the building through the bathroom. And then stabbed upward through the floor. But, like, that feels way too contrived. So, I am, still very much on the Nagito culprit theory right now. Now, going over my notes here, just a couple of things that that stand out to me. Let's see. Peko said she had a stomach ache, and she was one of the 2 people who ate the food. I don't suspect that there's, like, any poisoning or food poisoning or anything going on here. But Peko is unaccounted for in a somewhat suspicious way. Chiaki, I don't think really has any reason to lie. Yeah, Nagito volunteered to go check the storage room. Hey, what's up, Senpapi? I think you got this one right, Senpapi. If I recall correctly. See, this is the thing. Nagito prepared the drawings. He suggested doing the lottery. Then he is the one who got put in charge of the cleaning. So he has free reign of this place to set it up however he so chooses. That's the first suspicious thing right there. Byakuya, Hajime, Akane, Gundam, Mika, Nekomaru, Mahiro, Soda, and Sayonji were in the party room. Nagito was maybe in the party room when the lights went out. No, he was definitely in the party room because the photos show it. Teruteru joined in later. Yeah, I just can't really see it being anyone other than Nagito here. Check on my snake. My snake is good. But what about Byakuya as a culprit? I mean, of course Byakuya is the culprit, but I'm humoring the game, you know? I want it to think it has a chance of fooling me. So I'm stepping away from the Byakuya culprit theory for a minute. I don't have any skills, and frankly, I don't want skills. I've got skills. They're all in here. So I think we're just going to go ahead and dive in. My general theory, and I really wish that I could see the photos that Mahiru took, but my general theory is that during the blackout, Byakuya goes to the case and starts fiddling with it to try to get his night vision goggles on. While he's doing that, Nagito gets out the skewer and prepares to stab somebody. And then Byakuya sees it, goes, "What the hell?" and rushes over. And so Nagito stabs him, having already prepared the blanket, the tablecloth to, like, hide the blood stains. And so he stabs him and then shoves him under the table and then rushes out, because I don't really remember Nagito immediately responding after the lights came back on. I feel like he might have left and come back, but I'm not sure. My memory is a little bit shaky on that because it was a couple days ago. So that's kind of my general thoughts here. And then he slipped the murder weapon through the floor. So we have yet to recover the murder weapon.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
Also, being that I am somewhat... What up, Usami? Being that I am somewhat under the weather here, The class trial is perfect because I don't really have to speak during it. I can just let the voice lines play for themselves.
During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
Such a cruel rule.
Before we begin, I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us?
Most definitely. There's no doubt that the blackened is lurking among you. Such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? By the way, this class trial is gonna be 100% fair, so there's no need to worry.
I need to, like,
I'm the type who
change my
hates
VSync settings or
favoritism
something,
and
because there's all
prejudice.
these little, like,
Well,
lines.
Not as much as I hate Monami, of course.
You hate me that much?
Now, let's begin.
You're telling us to begin, but what are we supposed to do?
No complaining, let's just settle this with our fists.
I like you, Akane.
Were you even listening to the rules?
Didn't that Byakuya bastard get killed in the dining hall, huh? Then everyone there is a fucking suspect.
Yeah, what you're really trying to say is that you're not the killer, right?
No shit. You guys went off on your own and started killing each other. This has nothing to do with me.
Huh? What does that mean?
Anyway, why don't we try talking about the most pressing issue on our minds?
Huh. The most pressing issue on our minds?
Where we found the body. It's very strange to find a body underneath the table.
Then, let's start with that mystery.
The reason why Byakuya's body was discovered under the dining hall table. We can start with that, but ultimately we need to find out who murdered him. So, the glow-in-the-dark knife duct-taped to the underside of the table. Only the person who prepared everything... Yo, oh boy. Zano Lu, thank you very much for the follow. I apologize if I mispronounced that. So, the duct-taped thing to the underside of the table, there's no reason I think Byakuya would have prepared that, so to me that must have been the killer. That feels weird though, because that wasn't the murder weapon. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is yet. So the class trial has finally started. From this point onward, I will provide simple tutorials at every important moment. Is this going to be like Danganronpa 1, where every single class trial has a new mechanic? That was my strong memory of DR1, is every single time I get to a new class trial, it's like, okay, here's a new minigame. Please excuse my ear-tainting rudeness. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, all of your classmates will speak one after the other without any breaks. It's up to you to reveal any lies or mistakes contained within their statements. This means you'll have to use truth bullets to refute what they say. I do have the game set on the hardest difficulty. Out of all the truth bullets you find during your investigation, only the relevant ones will be loaded into the truth cylinder. I feel like that's not necessarily true. Use the mouse to move the reticle, then fire with the left mouse button. Okay. I'm gonna just kind of skip through the tutorial bits, because this seems to be just about exactly the same as DR1 so far. Knife, bloodstain under the table, and gaps in floorboard. Okay.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the dining hall.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
Huh? Why?
So this is clearly the tutorial.
Obviously by hiding the body. They tried to delay its discovery. Like a dog burying a bone.
Huh? What he just said was strange. It clearly contradicts the information I know.
Why was
Now, one thing I'm on the
Byakuya's
lookout
body
for in this trial is,
in a place like that?
Not Nagito, Hajime going
His
to
body was underneath the
stand
table.
out from... How do I
Very
speed
back
up?
of the dining
There you go.
After the killer,
Um,
they probably moved the body there.
Is he going to make himself stand out from
No,
Naegi?
that's wrong.
The trial is where he has the most opportunity to display personality.
No, I don't think the killer moved the body.
Huh? Why?
Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
So that's
All
why
right.
you think it's impossible that the killer moved
So I
the
guess we
body.
are actually going with... now that I sit here and I digest it in context, I guess we are probably actually going with he was stabbed through the floor, and the knife with the glow-in-the-dark paint was planted there to make it look like that would have been the murder weapon. Which, if that is the case, then that basically explicitly cancels out anyone who was in the room, as well as Teruteru, probably. And means that our actual list of suspects are Fuyuhiko, Chiaki, and Peko. Among whom I feel like there's only one possible legitimate answer. I will see where this develops, but I don't want to let go of the Nagito culprit theory.
Aw, and here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
Man, Sayonji calling me out, huh?
Better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
That's what I just said, Nekomaru.
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed. Then, shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
Oh,
The
Akane.
hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was?
Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean he'd dive under the table.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you think?
The reason Byakuya dove under the table. If it's connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, then it's probably... Guess the knife. Are we saying that he saw the knife under the table and went there himself?
I can prove it with this. It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Knife? Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, I am the murder weapon!
Oh, Ibuki.
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there. So in order to get it, he moved under the table.
Man, I wish I could see those pictures again.
Particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right?
Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
This is almost like a real trial!
Now that is one thing about this game or this series that, like, relative to other similar things in the genre, particularly the Ace Attorney things, I like this game a whole lot better because very rarely do you get, like, major case-changing bits of information in the middle of the trial. Usually you get all of the evidence, or at least most of the evidence, right before the trial starts, and so you can piece it together. Whereas, like, in Ace Attorney, you are not equipped to solve the mystery until, you know, partway through the actual trial when you've already started using the evidence and piecing things together. The case-changing stuff can be the best part of these trials, TBH. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, and those are fun moments, but I appreciate that this gives you more up front. From this point on, there will be various weak spots standing in your way. No matter how many weak spots there are, there's only one liar contradiction. I also do wonder if the fail state of this game is also everyone believes Hajime did it now because reasons. Alright, so my evidence options are, I'm gonna take away the notes here. Blood stain under the carpet, the gaps in the floorboard, the AC timer, the night vision goggles, and the knife.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct.
If that's the case... During the blackout, Mr. Ham-Hands must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black! It was so dark I couldn't see my food! Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
Night vision goggles.
I doubt he could have seen the killer. I'm sure Byakuya ducked him during the black...
I love the sped up chipmunk voices.
But it was super... It was so dark I couldn't... Byakuya couldn't see in the...
No, that's wrong!
Hajime is actually the culprit. He has a split personality that he doesn't know about himself. That's gonna happen in DR3, I'm calling it.
Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
He was using those night vision goggles we found under the table. He could have seen what was happening.
So... Are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Yep.
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Why do I have to stand next to Saionji? Also, I didn't hear her voice line.
No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
Other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
Were you surprised by Mahiru's sudden argument? Yes. Just between you and me, I was also surprised. Just kidding. I'm sorry. Now then, when this kind of argument surfaces, you will go into a one-on-one debate called a rebuttal showdown. In this mode, you have to counter the other person's claim, draw out their weak spots, and argue against them. Please counter the other person's remarks with the WASD key. Oh, this is different. This is... Based on the shape of their remarks, it's important to know whether to cut vertically, sideways, or diagonally. Based on that, you can skew the debate's mood to your advantage. On the other hand, if you ignore the other person's remarks, it will skew towards their advantage. In the bottom right corner of your screen, a number that shows the sharpness of your counter is displayed. This is the number of times you can cut remarks during one round of the debate. You will lose counts of sharpness even if you miss, so be careful. When the mood skews to your advantage for a certain length of time, the other party's argument changes. This means conversation will develop. If that happens, they will end up divulging some weak spots. However, you cannot normally cut remarks that contain weak spots. Instead, it will skew the mood toward the other party's advantage. Plus, it's going to be very big. Just like a regular debate, please refute any weak spots with the left mouse button. Okay. If you don't have the correct truth blade, you will not be able to cut an opponent's remark. Huh? What's a truth blade? I'm sorry, it appears there's been a delay in contacting you. I will make sure the person in charge of contacting you takes a very long vacation. In this mode, truth bullets will instead be called truth blades. That's about it. There won't be any other changes. Only the name was changed, but don't you think a change in feeling is important? I do, actually. Okay, so I have to chamber my Truth Blade, and then use it at the appropriate time. Knife, Duralumin Case. Okay, so Duralumin Case is the one that we're gonna use. I like this, this change.
Common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Damn it!
Did I lose?
If you just use common sense, the killer obviously used those night. That's gotta be it.
Okay, okay, I see.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision, then they could have killed Byakuya even in in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Oh, I see. Okay, okay. I think I get it. So I was wasting my slices because I didn't need to cut through them with that. I needed to refute that.
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened.
Maybe?
So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Allow me to
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Words. No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night
I'm gonna
vision
need a little bit of a...
Definitely? But why?
of a refresher on that one when it comes around again, because that one was a little weird.
Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party,
I've also never heard of Duralumin before.
he found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too? If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
Ew! You totally mean that in a perverted way.
The knife was brought in the Duralumin case alongside the night vision goggles, too. No, that's not possible. The knife was hidden in the dining hall before the party even started. I should be able to prove it.
I see! There was duct tape left under the table where the body was found. Huh? Duct tape? They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond, being a little cautious.
So obviously we understand the answer for this one.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
He probably knew. Someone was planning to commit a murder.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
God, I hope Gundam makes it out of this game.
So too, right, Hajime?
That's right, Byakuya probably knew there was a possibility a murder would occur, because someone told him that explicitly.
I can prove it with this! Everyone, can you please take a look at this?
Be careful, the first kill will happen tonight. Someone will definitely kill someone.
hell is this?
Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage.
It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those
Sure.
are still lies.
Doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter.
What do you mean?
By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act.
But the letter might have been just a little prank.
As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
You should have told us you received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
I love that Ibuki is just stuck in this pose.
He tried to do something about it without telling anyone?
I see. Strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
The killer. Is it really one of us? Who is it? Among us, who's the one who killed Byakuya?
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing
You
to come forward, they
coward!
never would have committed a murder in the first place.
But I still can't believe it. Someone in this room killed Byakuya. There's no way I can believe that yet.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
What is it, Miss Sonia?
I regret that I must return to this topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles. If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles. But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
No, the killer definitely used a mark, and because of this mark, the killer was able to get the knife from under the table into his own hands.
I see!
What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark.
Yeah, I feel like what we're gearing up towards is that Nagito intended to commit a murder, and then someone under the floorboards stabbed upward and beat him to it.
And the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance?
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark.
Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker.
He says, standing right next to the woman with a sword on her back.
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for 2 glasses wearers?
I'm not the killer.
See, Ibuki is great because she has the airhead, you know, complete ditz charm that Hina had, but she's got the fashion and the design and the voice acting of, like, the best characters of the game all put together.
Oh, I guess she's not.
How can you believe her so easily?
But with Pecco's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Pecco's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout.
By tripping the breaker directly from the office, Pecco was the one who caused the blackout. Is that really what happened? After this debate, blue-colored weak spots will start appearing. Is this new? I don't remember blue weak spots. If we call the weak spots you've seen up until now argue spots, the blue ones will be called agree spots. When shooting agree spots with truth bullets, you need to flip your way of thinking. Instead of arguing the other person's testimony contains lies or mistakes, please fire the truth bullet to prove the other person's testimony is correct. When your truth bullets merge with their weakness, it will become a logically sound agreement. That's fun. Oh man, that's gonna be awesome actually. Once we get out of like the first trial and we start getting to things that are more complex and require a lot more like, you know, deep thinking, that's really fun actually. I really like the idea of like having these trials where there's some potential you know, points of contention and some potential points of reinforcement, and you have to parse whether I'm supposed to disagree with something or if I'm supposed to agree with it. That's a really good mechanic. That's really cool. I am very glad that we're innovating on the gameplay and not just rehashing what we did in Danganronpa 1. Okay, so someone's account. Chiaki Teruteru Nekomaru.
Since Pecco was in the office,
I'm gonna assume Teruteru's is the right one
she
here.
could have caused the blackout at any time.
Nope.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
No, it's gonna be
Because I was
Nekomaru's.
not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
What happened to your guard duty?
Sorry.
Oh, you weren't in the office? That's clearly a desperate excuse.
All right. So I think we can see where this one's going.
Since Pecco was in the office, she could have caused the...
That's impossible. Huh? What? Because I was not in, not even before the blackout.
I agree with that.
No, I think Pecco is telling the truth.
Don't tell me you're crushing on Pecco.
Bro, Ibuki's right here.
It's nothing like that at all. Nekomaru's account is actually Pecco's alibi.
I've been trying to use it many times, but the door just won't open at all.
It's true. Someone was occupying the bathroom for a long time, shortly after
I like this
the
big
party
screen
started.
behind him.
And it was finally freed
Oh,
up
never mind.
after Byakuya's body was discovered.
Then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually...
Everyone else besides Pecco was in the dining hall after the party started, right?
I see. So there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom except Pecco.
I guess that would be true.
You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said so earlier.
The commode. Nobody says that, Soda.
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you're so insensitive.
If she locked herself in the bathroom for that long, there's no doubt. It's shit. Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit she was taking a shit.
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic manners? Or were you raised in a locker room?
I love Mahiru. She's not eccentric, she's not quirky, but she's like grounded and forceful and straightforward in a way that I think is really, really important to the balance of the overall cast of characters. I'm really, really enjoying her.
It's fine. How about we stop talking about this and move on to something else?
Don't worry, the smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me.
I said it's fine.
Dude, poor Pecco. Man, Pecco's really getting the short end of the stick in this chapter. Like, between the whole thing about her underwear and now all of the focus on her being in the bathroom. Like, man, this poor girl.
As soon as I stepped into the office, I felt this sudden rush of pain in my stomach. Because of that, I was unable to leave the bathroom, including when the blackout occurred.
Hey, how did it feel to do your business in the dark? Did you get excited?
Anyway,
Seriously, stop it.
thank you, Hajime.
Your stomach pain. Was that really just a coincidence?
Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people's business, especially if you didn't do any investigating.
The one time it's okay to kink shame.
only
I'm not
butt
kink
naked,
shaming, I'm just
fucking idiots
teru
are out of your
shaming. It's
element.
different.
Stop this childish nonsense. Just what do you mean by coincidence?
What I mean is it possible someone slipped her some laxatives?
Laxatives?
If so, the killer could have tripped the breaker as soon as that girl left the office, don't you think?
I see. That might have happened.
Question is whether Pekko's stomachache was a coincidence or if someone intentionally caused it. Depending on the answer, the outcome of this trial could change drastically. Alright, here we go. Teru killed Byakuya because that way the writers, who now realized
Did
killing
you read
Teru
anything
was a
weird?
mistake, who realized he was a mistake, could kill him off through the
remember reading
execution.
anything
Yeah,
weird.
I like that.
Now that you mention it... You brought food to the office, right?
Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Teru cooked the food. How suspicious!
I wouldn't do anything like that. Laxatives would ruin the taste.
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating anything weird.
I think the only
Now that you mention
thing is the
it...
party dishes.
You brought food to the office, right?
Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
So I think this is it. It's going to be shooting laxatives with party dishes.
I wouldn't do anything like that. Laxatives would ruin the taste.
Alright. I'm going to go for that. I'm going to commit.
Did you eat anything?
I don't remember eating... Now that you brought food to the office... Just a little bit from...
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you?
No, that's wrong.
Because Akane ate the food as well.
No, it's impossible that laxatives were slipped into the food in the dining hall. Because Pekka wasn't the only one who ate that food. Akane ate some of it too.
Akane ate a lot of it, in fact.
If the food had laxatives in it, I'm pretty sure Akane would have had stomach issues as well.
I feel totally fine.
Like I said, the dishes are innocent. Don't go making weird accusations.
I apologize for causing a scene.
Fuyuhiko should apologize, not you. He's the one who made the laxative accusation.
What the fuck did you say, bitch?
Cease this bickering!
Yes, Sonia.
Let's just discuss
Yes,
Pekka's
queen.
stomachache as a coincidence.
Shut that shit
And
down.
go back to discussing the blackout.
Yeah. We already know that, you trashy skank. You don't have to tell us.
Trashy skank?
As long as the murder happened during the blackout, then the blackout itself is what's actually important. So we need to make clear how the blackout occurred. I think we know that. Okay, storage room tablecloth, Teru's account, Chiaki's account, Nekomaru's account, irons in the storage room. I'm gonna stick with irons in the storage room for now.
And how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head. Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker.
It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters. Or maybe they caused a power surge?
There it is.
I bet it's really Monokuma's fault.
By the way, I'm not a trashy skank.
See, this is the reason why I always let it play through at least once, is not because I haven't figured it out, but just because it's fun to hear the dialogue. Then you get to hear things like Mikan going, "I'm not a trashy skank."
Who tripped the breaker and how? If you can't answer that, did they throw a...
Maybe they used a remote...
They probably...
It does not have to be. They may have tampered with the... Or maybe they caused a power surge?
I agree with that.
But that's implying that Peko and Akane have the same tolerance for food poisoning. Well, that would be the case if it was like food poisoning, if it was, you know, food that had gone bad. But like laxatives, I mean, like, they are medically designed to make something happen. I feel like if you eat as much food as Akane does, and there's laxatives in it, then you're gonna feel the effects of that, one way or the other. You can't really just, you know, strong body your way out of it, I think. Yes, you are, Mikan. She's not a trashy skank. She's not, necessarily the wisest or most, put together person in the world, I would say. But I wouldn't call her trashy. I wouldn't call her a skank. She could use, you know, a pair of bike shorts underneath her skirt, maybe. That might help her, given her, her tendencies.
Of course, that's not a coincidence. Someone caused it intentionally.
Which is why those 3 irons were arranged to cause the blackout.
When you found them right after the blackout, the irons were still on, right?
So by leaving those irons on in the storage room, they deliberately caused a power surge.
Yeah, it seems that's how the killer caused the blackout.
Stupid fool!
Okay. So here's this
Hold on
again.
a second. Let me speak too.
So WASD, and then use the correct truth bullet when it's time.
What the heck?
You say the irons in the storage room were used to trigger the blackout? That's inexcusable!
So I didn't see any reason to use like W, A, S, or D specifically in the last one.
If the irons in the storage room caused the blackout, then for the killer to turn the irons on...
Oh, no?
You're saying they went all the way to the storage room? And that means everyone who was in the dining hall when the blackout occurred can't be a suspect.
People in the who were in the dining hall weren't able to cause the blackout. Is that really it? Narrowing down the suspects like that is dangerous. I should address that first.
If the irons in the storage room caused then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to the storage room? Then that means everyone who was in the when the blackout occurred can't be a suspect.
Okay,
No, just
I
because
kind of get
people
it.
were in the dining hall
Each
doesn't mean they're not a
phrase
suspect.
has a
But the people
correct
in the dining hall
direction.
weren't able to cause the blackout. If the irons caused, then the killer had to go to the storage room before that and turn on the iron. Now do you intend to take back what you said? But the people in the dining hall weren't able to cause if the irons caused the blackout.
Allow me to cut through those words. The irons are just one reason the blackout occurred, but they weren't the direct trigger. The direct trigger was when the air conditioners in the dining hall and office clicked on.
Alright, I need to address something here that's just completely petty. But if setting your air conditioner to 86 degrees is enough to cause it to blow, then I'm sorry, you got bigger problems, man. If you are trying to cool to 86 degrees Fahrenheit, and that causes your AC to go out, you need to be firing whoever it was that installed these. I'm sorry, pause. I wasn't here at the end of last stream or the start of this one. Oh, what up, Sen Poppy? What was that embarrassing pose one? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway.
Air conditioners!
The timers for both air conditioners were set to 11:30 p.m.
11:30 p.m.
That's vital
Mr.
evidence, Sen Poppy.
Hansen
That's what
said
that
it on
is.
time too.
I see. When the timers activated the air conditioners, the breaker was tripped and caused a blackout. I see. I understand. Indubitably.
Indubitably?
They probably checked the old building's energy usage in advance and used the irons to nearly max it out. So once they set the air conditioner's timers, they just had to wait until they started up on their own.
If so, even if Pekka was in the office, it still would have been possible to cause a blackout, indubitably.
Yeah, you rock, Sonia.
Indubitably? Miss Sonia, not you too.
Regarding the energy usage, they probably asked Monokuma about it.
Dun dun dun!
Is she right? Such a hateful bear! You deserve to die 1,000 deaths!
1,000, you say? If I died that many times, I might really stay dead, you know?
Shut up! You guys just stay quiet! I couldn't have prevented the blackout even if I was in the office. Even so, I feel regret. If I was in the office, I could have reset the breaker in time. And maybe the murder wouldn't have occurred.
No, the breaker in the office was built into a high area of the wall that's impossible to reach. Resetting the breaker in that darkness would have been impossible, no matter what.
Sounds like you don't need to blame yourself.
Oddly empathetic of you,
Even so, the
Fuyuhiko.
killer is so sly. I'm starting to worry we may never actually find them.
It's alright. You don't have to worry. Because they're just a petty killer, right? They can't defeat symbols of hope like you guys. There's no way everybody will lose now. This little incident will just be a stepping stone for
Man,
you all.
Nagito is so weird. Like, this is just so strange, man. I'm not gonna dwell on this, but I just am not understanding his character, and I can't tell if that's deliberate or not.
In the end, hope always wins. That's what I believe.
Nagito? What happened to you?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you have been saying this whole time that there's no way a killer could be among us.
Oh, is that so? Well, let's just put that minor detail aside for now and talk about the incident.
Okay, yeah, okay.
For now, we found out how the blackout occurred. But the question is, who caused it, right? Anybody could have hid and set the timers for the air conditioners. Setting up the irons in the storage room could have been done before Byakuya set foot in the old building. What a shame. Any one of us is capable of that.
What are you implying?
He's just saying, after all this time, we still haven't made any progress. Huh? Even though we have been arguing for so long?
Unfortunately, it's the truth. Despite the fact that we've discussed this at length, there's not even one clue that leads to the killer. But that might be because there's no way any of us could be a killer.
You're changing your story again?
Anyway, I have an idea about what we all should do at this point. Has anyone thought about our situation like this? Instead of surviving by doubting others, isn't it better to get killed for believing in others?
Doesn't that mean... Are you saying we should all just give up and die?
Nagito, there's definitely something wrong with you.
You guys only think there's something wrong with me because there's something wrong with you. Suspecting each other like this. There's no way that's healthy behavior. Let's stop this already. We don't have to find out who the killer is. I can't stand this anymore. I don't want to do this to my friends.
I don't want to do this either.
Me too! Please, take me home already!
I wish to not be sick anymore.
I wanna go home and eat candy!
Me too, Saionji.
Stop it. If everyone acts like this, I'm gonna...
Everyone calm down. We're all friends, aren't we? There's no way one friend would murder another.
Then why did Byakuya die?
Who cares? Let's just give up already. There are no clues that lead to the killer anyway.
Nagito, you are so bizarre.
Wrong.
Oh, Chiaki. Out of left field.
Did you say something?
Cause we've already found a clue that might point to who the killer is.
You know who the killer is?
The killer? I don't know. But we do have a clue about a suspicious
Man, she's so cute with the hoodie. The hoodie catapulted, in my opinion, of her.
Then care to tell me, what's this clue you're talking about?
First of all, let's try thinking about how the killer was able to obtain the knife during the blackout.
Didn't we already cover that? They use glowing paint as a mark.
No, not that. I mean before that.
Before? Is she asking how the killer got close to that table? Even if they had to obtain the knife by relying on the glow from the paint, in order to do that, they needed to get close to that table while it was still dark.
Let's try examining the situation. Mahiru's diagram might be useful.
Now, this is what I wish I had been able to see more of in the
Diagram
investigation
of where everyone was
phase.
standing before the blackout, right? Here it is.
So, the thing that I think is most interesting here is... it's not that. Yes. Hiyoko is the person who said, hey, don't step on my feet. So somebody crossed her, and I don't like what we're implying here. So I'm just gonna forget that this is a possibility, and we're gonna move on to... Nagito is the closest person here, and was able to, like, grab something. And was, like, gonna go threaten Hiyoko. That's gotta be what it was. That's gotta be what it was. Now, Byakuya goes around this way and gets under the table. We'll see where this goes. Just as I thought, this diagram is the clue. Who the killer is and how they were able to move to the table in the dark. I guess we're probably going to say that they used the cord. They felt the cord and just felt along the way to where the table was. Which feels a little, I don't know, silly to me. Because, like, yes, it is hard to see in the dark, but especially if you are prepared for the reality that a blackout is about to happen, humans have a good enough sense of space that even when it goes dark, if your eyes were on something on a table that's a few feet away from you at the moment the lights go out, you can still navigate yourself there and interact with it pretty reliably. Human brain is pretty impressive. Let's consider driving a car, for example. Within a few minutes of driving a new car, like definitely within a few hours or days, you have a very good sense of where the car is. You can't feel the back left tire, but you have a good sense of where it is. The human brain is very remarkably good at this kind of thing. Killer probably used something to help them move in the dark. Select a suspicious spot. Complete darkness is a different story. A guy got lost in a cave for 3 days. Well, yeah, if you're in complete darkness for a long time, then that's one thing. But, like, in the split second that the lights go out, if you have a frame of reference for where things are, then you can navigate, you know, a couple of feet very reliably.
Desk lamp? I hope you don't mean they turned on a light or something.
There was a blackout. There's no way the killer could have used the desk lamp.
Of course, there's no way they used the desk lamp's light. The killer actually used the light bulb.
They didn't turn the desk lamp on. They used its power cord.
Power cord?
They could have felt their way to that table using the power cord, right? By doing that, the killer was able to move to the table and use the glowing paint to find the knife.
And there's only one person here who could have done that.
Kazuichi.
Ooh.
The only person here who could have possibly done it. Byakuya himself. Like the height difference between these two.
You're the only one! Nagito.
And please, look, I can't let go of this, Luigi. I was given a second chance. And they took it away from me. I was so positive.
Me?
Judging from everyone's positions before the blackout, the only person near the power cord was you.
Which means the only one who could have felt their way to the table using the power cord was Nagito!
That's just a coincidence.
But still, you had a chance, right? A chance to hide the knife under the table?
Nagito's chance to hide the knife under the table was... when he was cleaning. Yeah.
Nagito, weren't you cleaning the dining hall all morning? If so, you would have had a chance to hide the knife.
That's...
If you factor in the power cord and the time you spent cleaning, you're the only one who could have done it.
Seriously! That's all just a coincidence!
If it was just one coincidence, it'd be fine. But when it's one right after another... I wonder... is something like that even possible?
Could it be? Did you give yourself cleaning duty on purpose so you could hide the knife under the table?
That's what I was saying as soon as he pulled out the drawing straws bit.
Nagito did
Yep,
prepare the
yep,
drawing
yep.
to pick who cleaned
Thank
the
you,
dining hall.
Nekomaru. Anytime somebody just volunteers something that's gonna really dictate the course of a story or of, like, who is where, you know, anytime someone volunteers, oh, I'm gonna choose who goes where, that is immediately suspicious.
You rigged the drawing, didn't you? That's how you got picked to clean the dining hall, isn't it?
I don't know if you're the killer or not, but regardless, it proves that you're suspicious, right?
If that's the case, that strange speech you made earlier, that was part of your plan too.
You got us to lower our guard and tried to hide the fact that you did it, didn't you, you motherfucker?
And now this is where it goes,
Admit it already!
that the twist is that he did do all of this suspicious stuff, but he isn't the one who actually murdered
I don't want to believe it.
Byakuya. Which I hope is not the case.
You were so kind. I can't believe you're the one who killed Byakuya.
Come on, do the villainous break. Do it.
Say something.
Do it. Yes, yes. You're almost there. You're almost there. Come on. Yes.
The Ultimates are working together to combat the despair of their friend's death! How wonderful! How beautiful it is!
Huh?
Those eyes. At that moment, Nagito's eyes. The darkness in his eyes shone brightly, as if layers upon layers of darkness were folding into each other. As if hope and despair had been crudely mixed together.
Let's cut to the chase. You're correct. It was my doing all along. I'm the one who hid the knife under the table before the party started. I'm the one who used the power cord to find my way to the table in the dark. And of course, I'm the one who caused the blackout. After all, there's no way I'd knowingly whip out a knife in front of everyone, right?
Alright. So this is Naegi, right? Like, his whole bit about, like, the friends, you know, better to die not suspecting your friends, and this bit about hope and despair mixing together. This is all just so bizarre, and his bouncing back and forth between you know, I'm so sorry, I look at everything with a pessimistic attitude, and then, oh no, this is fine, everything's fine, we're good, and we can't suspect people, and we should suspect people and everything. Like, this just weird. And the ultimate lucky student, like, that's Naegi. It would be a really far-fetched theory if Byakuya weren't also on the island here.
Is it just me, or does he seem a little nuts right now?
But I never expected Byakuya to have night vision goggles. Because of that, we had ourselves a little scuffle under the table. And, well, you all saw how that played out. But with a twist ending like this, I think we can all agree this ended up being a very interesting mystery. Byakuya performed admirably.
Just stop it already! Seriously! What the hell happened to you?
Don't tell me. Is this your true nature? Were you lying to us this entire time?
Me? Lie? That's outrageous. There's no way someone like me could ever lie to you guys. I understand better than anyone else that I'm ultimately worthless. I'm too arrogant to have dreams or cling to hope. I'm too disdainful to actually try at anything. I've made peace with the fact that I'm a lowly, stupid, insignificant human who can't do anything right.
Holy crap! He's totally the type of guy who spent his childhood killing neighborhood pets!
He seems like the sort of person whose eyes light up while watching Friday the 13th. Just like me.
Sonia, do we need to talk about this? That feels... I'm gonna just write some notes here real quick about that. We're just gonna scroll up here to Sonia Nevermind. Eyes light up while watching Friday 13th. You might have just told on yourself there a little bit, Sonia.
That's quite the hobby you have there. But, like, now's not really the time to bring it up.
This guy. Is he the real Nagito?
Hey, Nagito. If you were behind all of this, then did you also send that threatening letter?
Yep, I sure did. There's nobody else on this island whose handwriting is that painful to look at, right?
He is also the one who suggested that we go to
But why would you send a threatening letter in the first place?
Byakuya's room.
I think somewhere deep in my heart.
I used a quote earlier. Want me to post it again? Oh, sure, sure.
Someone who would stop my evil
Absolutely.
deeds.
He's not the real Nagito, he's the fake one, the ultimate imposter, and he took Nagito's place. Nah, this is Naegi. It's somehow Naegi's broken or something. The hair's different, but like, I don't know, man. Toko has an alter ego, Taka got one. Who's to say that Makoto doesn't have some murder-hungry alter ego either? Kappa, said Senpapi, April 24th, 2024. During Chapter 3, man, Senpapi out here with a Clairvoyance EX+.
Well, I bet if that really was my reason, at least some of you would feel sorry for me.
Are you making fun of us?
By threatening Byakuya, Nagito was likely able to manipulate his actions.
Especially if you already knew Byakuya well. It was Nagito who suggested the building. I couldn't remember who it was that suggested it.
In doing so, Nagito was able to manipulate everyone to the scene where the murder would occur. Am I wrong?
That reminds me. Nagito was the one who suggested I guard the office.
Well, not only is the storage room packed with lots of stuff, it's hard to see in there and full of cobwebs. And I was so busy cleaning the dining hall that I didn't even have time to clean the storage room. If you stayed in there for a long time, I think it would be bad for your health. See, that's legitimate, though. Like, that's the kind of room that I would never, ever be able to stay in. That much dust?
Oh, I get it. If Peko was guarding the storage room, Nagito wouldn't have been able to use the irons.
The threatening letter, along with all your suggestions, was all a trap to manipulate us.
Yep, that's true too. But you're wrong about one thing.
Huh? What?
I didn't need to rig the drawing for cleaning duty, you know?
If that's true, then how did you conveniently get picked for cleaning duty?
I see. Well, there's no way I'd expect you to remember it. A worthless talent for a worthless human.
Nagito's talent? The ultimate lucky student. Ultimate babyface. Ultimate transporter.
I see! You're the ultimate lucky student. Then, did you?
That's right. I just trusted my luck. I trusted I'd be picked for cleaning duty.
You just relied on your luck?
It's not just luck. It's true my talent sucks, but I'm still the ultimate lucky student, you know?
I'm the one left with the red mark? Someone called the ultimate lucky student. You don't seem very lucky right now. Ha ha ha. Ha ha.
At the time, Hajime said I wasn't lucky, but it was actually the opposite. I was lucky. That's why I got picked for cleaning duty, just like I wanted.
Enough. I don't care about that anymore. More importantly, why did you kill Byakuya? Answer me!
Byakuya was a very capable leader. For someone like him to get killed, the despair it brings. It's only fitting that you symbols of hope should use his death as a stepping stone to shine even brighter. That was my only motivation.
You're not making any sense!
Fine, let's start the damn vote already. I'm ready to fucking kill this psycho.
Please, Monokuma! Please, wait!
Huh? The fuck?
How should I put this? It is Nagito really the killer?
What are you saying? He's already confessed, hasn't he?
I already know that, but there's just something a little strange.
If it's only a little, then keep your mouth shut. Your ugly face is stressing me out. It makes me want to puke.
I'm sorry.
For now, might I suggest we listen to what she has to say?
But we know who the killer is.
The major question that I have is how does somebody get underneath the floors? How did Tanaka get his earring back? That's what I want to know.
This to end with mere play. Now then, let us lift the curtain for a bloody spectacle.
For a bloody spectacle. He's great. From this point on, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they touch these lines, so think of them as obstacles. Okay, we did have this before. Okay, so the autopsy report is definitely our correct answer here.
I think it's strange that...
The killer is so obviously Nagito!
He has already confessed.
You know...
That bastard Nagito is the one who did it. He killed Byakuya with the knife he hid.
And that's it right there.
Oh, never mind.
Mikan, no!
Thanks for wasting
Stand
my
up for
time,
yourself.
stinky bitch.
Dude, Saionji, you suck.
Cast our votes.
I think
The killer is so obvious.
He has already
That bastard Nagi, he killed Byakuya with the knife he hid.
No, that's wrong! That knife might not be the murder weapon. That's what you wanted to say, right, Mikan?
What the hell are you talking about? It's obvious the knife was the murder weapon.
But based on the entry wounds on Byakuya's body, the actual weapon should be roughly 5 millimeters in diameter.
I will say, I don't think a
5 millimeters
nurse...
in diameter? That's like way skinnier than a knife.
I don't think a nurse has the
That better be
qualification to be
true.
doing
If you
autopsies.
screwed up, I'll sell your fucking ass to a whorehouse.
Not a whorehouse!
Hey, why are you threatening her?
Is this what you're trying to say, Mikan? As long as we can't prove that the knife is the murder weapon, we can't assume that I'm the killer.
It's going to be a really interesting dynamic
No
going
one else
forward
can be the killer. It has to be you.
when Nagito is still
Hey,
around and nobody
don't blame
trusts or
me.
likes him.
Mikan's the one who said it.
I'm sorry. Hey, Nagito. Are you still hiding something?
Hiding?
Like, during the blackout, did something happen between you and Byakuya that we don't know about?
Who knows?
After all this, what else do you intend to hide?
Jeez, the moment your back's against the wall, you get all silent. You piss me off.
What happened during the blackout? Ugh! If you cross your eyes like this, it gives you double vision.
True.
Don't get distracted. Our lives are at stake, you know?
Huh? Whose life is at stake?
Seriously, how long is it gonna take for you to understand the damn rules?
Nobody can see in the dark, no matter how hard you think about it. The truth is beyond your sight. Don't you think that's a pretty clever metaphor? Despite the fact that it came from me?
Now, what I think Nagito's doing is kind of occupying a similar role to Byakuya from the first game, where, like, Byakuya made some plays that were kind of about strengthening the group's deductive skills. Like, he did some shenanigans just to force everyone else to think about things deeper, and I think that's what Nagito's doing here. Like, he's doing this because he's like, if you guys aren't able to suss this out, then you won't be able to make it any further. So I have to force you guys to bring everything to bear. Otherwise, I am doing you a disservice. I think that's kind of what we're going here.
No, that's not it.
Not it? What's not it?
The truth is beyond our sight. No, that can't be it. There should be some way to find out what happened in the dark. Best girl Ibuki.
I can prove it with this. Even if we couldn't see what happened in the dark, I'm pretty sure someone could have heard it. Isn't that right, Ibuki?
Oh, real?
You were the one who told me, remember? How everyone was shouting during the blackout?
Yo, oh my god, hey, what's up? Hold the phone. Hello. I didn't... hi, guys. Welcome, everybody, from both Nick and Ario's streams. We are in the middle of the class trial at the very beginning of Danganronpa 2. So, spoilers for Danganronpa 2 as well as Danganronpa 1. Necessarily, there's information that is happening right now that will spoil at least some part of Danganronpa 1. So if you have not played Danganronpa and you intend to, as much as I appreciate and love having people in chat, now is the best time for you to skip out because there's no spoilers on screen right now. Otherwise, though, thank you guys. Welcome. How was stream? I hope you guys are enjoying whatever it was you were up to. If it's FGO, then you guys are better than me because I still haven't finished the event. I have finished the actual, like, story of the event and the epilogue and everything. I just need to finish my farming and do the challenge quest. But frankly, I would rather be doing Danganronpa. This murder mystery is way more fun for me. Finished Power Wash Simulator. I was not aware that Power Wash Simulator had a campaign or a story mode. That is surprising. No, the murderer has to be the closest person since they swapped him. Sayaka must have killed him. Yes, exactly. I do love me some of Dante Lily's Bizarre Island Adventure. I would rather be doing a lot of things than playing FGO. That is fair. That is valid. That is absolutely valid. Power Wash Simulator is getting a Shrek map next month. What? How does that work? Like, what? Are you cleaning Shrek's cottage? He wants it to be dirty. I deactivated my FGO account, so I guess that counts as completing the event. Oh, no kidding, Areopolis. Really? What was behind that decision? And let me say, if, you know, that is something that you felt like you needed to do, I support that 100%. Absolutely support that. FGO, the game, carried by its story. Oh, for sure, 100%. I mean, it's carried by its IP. It's not even carried by its story, I think. Waves arm in general direction of Fate Grand Order. That's valid. That's absolutely legitimate, yeah. Gacha has lost its luster for me, really. You know? I still have fun with Fate Grand Order. I have invested very much into Fate Grand Order, but, like, I have a lot more fun nowadays playing Elden Ring and Danganronpa, and I'm gonna be doing like Ender Lilies and Dark Souls and Tunic. That's another one. I bought Tunic over like the winter sale on Steam, I think, and that is a game that I want to play on stream. I want to play The Outer Wilds as well is another one that, like, these are games that have a reputation that I know of that I think would be a great fit for me personally. Have you tried YTTD? No, I have no idea what that is. Ender Lilies was a good time for me. Ender Lilies was a gift from Senpapi, one of the mods here in the chat. Your Turn to Die. I've never heard of this. No. What is it? The title is intriguing. I'm definitely here for this. It's like a child of Danganronpa and Saw. Okay, so Saw, if it leans too much on like the gore and the, you know, the visceral reaction that kind of thing gets out of it, then it might be too intense for me. But It could be a good fit. Ender Lilies comes from me, one of my favorite Metroidvanias, up there with Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is easily my favorite that I've ever played. The Death Game series like Danganronpa has a banger OST too. Okay. Is it on Steam? Because can someone private message me that on Discord so that I remember to look at it after stream? I am intrigued. I'm very intrigued. It isn't super gory. Okay, good. Some violence warnings, but it's not like Corpse Party. I've also not played Corpse Party. I'm not familiar with it. Like, when I went into playing Umineko, I was a little worried about that because a lot of murders happen in that, and some of them are kind of grisly, but it doesn't relish in the description of it or in the showcasing of it. It doesn't use it as shock value. And so even in Umineko, where there are deaths that are, like, gruesome, it treats it in a respectful way where it's like, I'm going to emphasize how awful this is without really trying to squick out the audience. Thank you, Senpapi. Corpse Party is hella violent and gory, like organs and blood explosions somewhat. Yeah. That's where you lose me. Well, cool. Thank you very much for the suggestion. That's exciting. I'm always excited to find games that are like this. I really enjoy games that really force you to think about them. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump back into the trial. We are... I'm going to go ahead and spoiler warning. Spoilers for Danganronpa 1 coming in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are at the point where we have determined how Byakuya ended up where he did. We have determined that Nagito is absolutely off his rocker, but we don't think that he is necessarily the killer. Also, there is an open question as to whether Nagito is Naegi from the first game. They have an overlap in being the ultimate lucky student, but that is a position that they do every year, so it's not a 100% guarantee, but there's just too much weird overlap right now, you know? There's just a lot of tonal confluence happening right here, so I am very intrigued by the direction that this is going to go. There's a few pieces of the evidence that I still don't know what they're going to play into.
Everyone, calm down. We gotta stay calm in a situation
Oh,
like
also,
this.
for the people who are just joining here, I have to just go over the characters and what I think of them real quick before we move on, because that's very important. Nagito, first of all, the first thing I said about Nagito, and I'm very happy with what has developed, the first thing I said was he feels like he is reprising the role that Kirigiri had in the first game, and I was hoping that they would do something different, that he would be the murderer, or at least, you know, occupy a different role. He's definitely fulfilling that, so I'm happy with that. But otherwise, he was white toast up until now. Byakuya's Byakuya. Gundam rules. This is the best boy in the game. I love him. He's so fun. Soda is fine. He's entertaining. I like him, but he doesn't stand out to me yet. Worst character in the game. No questions asked. I love him. First of all, JoJo references are good. He's a dumbass. He's a big gorilla, and he's funny. His voice acting is 100% whole hog, so I respect it. Fuyuhiko I'm interested in, but we need time. Akane is Hina 2.0, same, you know, level of airheadedness, same love for food, just more unkempt and more tomboyish. Chiaki is cute as hell. I like her a lot. She's not my favorite, but like, I really do enjoy her. Honestly, most of the girls in the cast I really like. Sonia, I love her. She's so fun, and I can't wait for her to snap. Something's gonna go weird with her. I hate Sayonji. She sucks. Mahiro's fun. She's cute, and I like her, her grounded, forceful personality. It really balances out the cast. I don't trust Mikan. I really don't trust Mikan. She's fine, but I don't trust you. Easily the best character in the game is Ibuki. Ibuki is so far away the lead of, like, the best characters that it's not even close. Second place is a distant second place for how much I enjoy Ibuki, but third place is an even more distant third place. Gundam and Ibuki are in a tier of their own. And then Peko. Peko is she's the punching bag so far, which is not expected. I'm curious where she's going to develop. And that's my general thoughts about the characters so far. This game is so fun to me, but it gets so repetitive sometimes. I mean, I feel that that's the case for just about any visual novel. You get especially so many that, like, repeat lines and have characters that are just like, yada yada, I'm going to make a statement, and then the following person says, oh, I see, and then they're going to reiterate that statement, and we're going to go through that 1,000 times. Like, almost every interaction is like, oh my god, they found a body in the kitchen. A body? Yes, a body, but where is it? It's in the kitchen. What's in the kitchen? The body. Yes, exactly. It's like some bad comedy routine. That I find is the case in Fate Grand Order. That is the case in Umineko. That is the case here in Danganronpa. That is the case in just about every visual novel I've ever done. And I think that's either a quirk of the translation process and the localization, or that's kind of just how Japanese prose is written. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert here. How can you trust somebody who likes bathroom smells? Exactly. FGO has an insanely bad case of that. That's part of the reason why I don't like doing long, drawn-out FGO story streams, because, like, at least in Danganronpa, I feel the stories are really dynamic, and it's really pushing forward a lot of the time. I always feel like progress is being made, or jokes are funny. I feel that there's a lot of fluff in Fate Grand Order nowadays. What's FGO? It is the primary focus of this channel, I would say. It is Fate Grand Order. It is a mobile game that brought a lot of people together. So regardless of how I feel about gacha gaming in general, I do owe it for bringing me a lot of friends and a lot of relationships that I never would have had, and a passion that I discovered. So I get sometimes there's vent viewers who don't play FGO. Yep, exactly. Danganronpa has a lot of bad jokes. See every time Monokuma talks. I'm not going to disagree that there's bad jokes in this, but Monokuma, as your example, surprises me. Love you too, Vent. Love you, Senpapi. Is that the one where ships are anime girls? No. That is, Grand Blue, I think? I don't know. I don't know which one that is. I know which one you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called. Anyway, we're going to move on. Azure Lane, that's it, that's it.
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow!
Turn the damn lights on! I can't eat like this, you know!
You guys? Where are you? Wasn't the blackout just in the kitchen?
Perhaps the breaker overloaded?
Is that the one where Lincoln is an anime girl? No, excuse you. Lincoln is one of the spirits that is inside the president, the King of the United States, Thomas Edison, who is manifested as a giant lion man who shoots red, white, and blue laser beams from his chest, and his ultimate move is the 20th Century Fox logo. That's what you have to look forward to in Fate Grand Order.
It's a good thing your ears are awesome, because your face, style, figure, and personality totally suck.
Okay, I already hated Saionji, but she's really cementing her position as worst girl. Like, her face, her style, her figure, and her personality are all fantastic, Saionji. What are you on? Open your eyes.
You've cut me deep with your knife of truth!
However, after hearing what Byakuya and Nagito said in the dark...
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow!
It almost sounds like Byakuya fought back against Nagito or something.
Well, that's actually what happened. As a sign of respect for Ibuki's talent, I have a small confession to make. I was actually shoved out from under the table by Byakuya.
He shoved you out?
Just as the blackout occurred, I hurried to duck under the table and grab the knife. But Byakuya, wearing his night vision goggles, caught me and shoved me right out from under
Byakuya
the
sacrificed himself in an act of heroism.
That's right. I'm so incompetent that I couldn't even grab the knife.
So Byakuya stopped him when he was trying to get the knife. And got shoved out from under the table before he could even grab it. Well, it sounds plausible. I mean, just from listening to what they both said at the time.
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow!
I could interpret it like that. No, actually. Now that I think about it, that sounds like exactly what happened.
After getting shoved out from under the table, I was just as confused as you guys. I lost sight of the glowing paint. I didn't even know where the power cord was. Before I realized it, the lights had come back on, and Byakuya's body was lying under the table.
Hold on! Are you saying you're not the killer?
From the very beginning, the idea to throw a party, hiding the knife, setting up the blackout, it was all going according to plan. But unfortunately, my plan failed. And all thanks to Byakuya's night vision goggles. What happened after that? Even I don't know.
You failed? Then you're not the one who killed Byakuya?
And thus, we circle back to it almost had to be Fuyuhiko.
How could that be? We spent all this time talking back and forth.
Okay, here's another quote from me. September 17th, so 4 days ago, I said, Nagito is Kirigiri 2.0. He's gonna defy expectations, you know? He's setting us up to be a friend, and they're not gonna let us get away with that. Yep. I'm very, very glad, too, that we're not retreading the same ground.
But you can't give up. You need to have hope. Do your best and move forward. Rising to the challenge again and again is why you guys are the symbols of hope.
Is Nagito really not the killer? Is this guy really the Nagito I knew before? No, there's no way I can say that. I just thought I knew him, but this whole time I didn't know anything about this guy. I didn't know his true character. It's as simple as that. But now's not the time for me to dwell on that. We need to find Byakuya's killer, by any means possible. Because if we don't, we will die here. Dun dun dun! Class trial suspended? Hello?
Well now.
Now then, the class trial has reached its climax, but... Okay, here's a question for you. What's this? To those of you who figured out who it is, how about you try out the Guess the Killer challenge? Whoever fails to guess the right killer will have their save data melt away like butter. But if you guess right, I'll reward you with $10 billion! 10 billion? Of course, for those of you who don't know who the killer is, you can just continue on.
Now then, what are you gonna do?
Left mouse button, continue on. B, guess the killer challenge? Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Yo, I'm here for this. Okay. So, at this point, who can we rule out? Nagito, Nekomaru, Yoko, Mahiru, Byakuya himself, Gundam, Akane, Mikan, Ibuki, Soda. Not necessarily Teruteru, actually. Sonya and Peko. Probably Teruteru, but not necessarily. Like, Fuyuhiko is the one that I think is most suspicious here. This is cool. I like this a lot, actually. So... Peko is in the bathroom. Fuyuhiko apparently came to the old building, then walked away. could Fuyuhiko have got under the building somehow? That appears to be what we're going with. Oh, excuse me. I'm guessing it's Mikan. It was Junko's ghost. Hmm. I'm trying to... Is this a thing that I can do? Is there a hotkey that I'm missing here? Or if I click, will it keep moving forward? Because my B key on my keyboard isn't doing anything. My backspace button isn't doing anything. Is that B on the keyboard or gamepad B? Well, I don't have a gamepad plugged in here. Controller controls, okay. I'm gonna save real quick. I'm just gonna try like every button on my keyboard. Escape key or control key, F1, open transcript. Okay, no. Just kidding, you can't make a choice. Okay, I hit E and that, I guess, put it somewhere else. Okay, so I guess that I couldn't do anything there. There's no way you'd be able to guess who the killer is.
And of course, there's no $10 billion either.
You're so evil.
All right. Yes, I would like to save my progress. Thank you. Cheers, door.
I'm Monami, and my heart is throbbing like crazy right now. The group's leader, Byakuya, got killed, and his killer is among this group of students?
I really am not a fan of her voice acting.
I'm not gonna believe it. I'll never believe it. 'Cause I believe in everyone. So do your best, and don't forget to save regularly.
Well, what now? If the knife isn't the murder weapon, there's no definitive proof that I'm the killer.
Shut up! We'll be the judge of that.
You say you were shoved away, but you can't actually prove it, right?
That's right. Even if a different weapon was used, it does not mean Nagito has been cleared of suspicion.
But there's another reason why I don't think Nagito is the killer.
There's still more?
Based on what we've discussed, Byakuya was killed under the table, right?
Is there something wrong with that?
Well, even if that's true, I feel Nagito looks, clean.
Nobody's ever complimented me on my appearance before. Not even my own mother.
I'm not talking about your looks.
Why does Mikan think Nagito looks clean? Because there's no blood on Nagito. Because he doesn't have any dust on him. I love it. I love the bad options in these because they're always super obvious.
Why didn't Nagito have any bloodstains on him?
Yes, that's it. Because under the table, there was a lot of blood splattered everywhere, right? There were even bloodstains on the inside of the tablecloth.
If he stabbed Byakuya to death, it's strange he did not get splattered with an appropriate amount of blood.
I didn't get any blood on me? That is weird.
You just used something to block the blood, didn't you?
Something that might have been used to block the blood splatter. What do you think it could have been?
Tell them, Hajime.
I guess we did see something I could have used. Isn't that right, Hajime?
I can prove it with this. You're talking about the bloodstained tablecloth we found in the storage room, right?
If there are bloodstains on it, that settles it. Nagito used the tablecloth to block the blood splatter.
But that was found in the storage room, right? Are you suggesting he hid it there after the murder?
You mean after the lights came back on? What would he have done if we'd seen him?
That's true. The tablecloth was pretty big. So even if you tried to hide it and take it with you...
Wearing a tablecloth, going under the table, getting a knife in a blackout, and
So
stabbing...
this is where I think my understanding of this case is really going to pivot, because this is the one piece of evidence that was most... I'm not going to say confusing, but had the largest gap in my understanding of... I understand why this is going to be important, but not how. And once this clicks into place, I feel like that's going to inform a lot of other things. I feel like this is a good intersecting point for a lot of evidence and a lot of the story. Because where did it come from and where did it go? And how was it used? Once those things are revealed, I think I'm going to really understand a whole lot more about the mechanics of this murder.
That's not just impossible for someone like me. Wouldn't it also be impossible for you guys, too?
Then, what does it mean?
Maybe the killer didn't necessarily stab Byakuya under the table.
No, there's no mistake that the murder occurred under that table.
Hey, Chiaki's going back to where I was at the beginning of the stream.
Inside of the tablecloth was bloody, so there's no denying Byakuya was killed there. But that doesn't mean where Byakuya got stabbed and where the killer did the stabbing are the same, right?
I don't understand at all!
The place where Byakuya got stabbed and where the killer did the stabbing are different?
Huh? Hajime, you look like you're onto something.
Really? But it sounds like a riddle. I feel like I'm onto something, but it's still not clear what that is.
Under the table, but not under the table. If it's somehow possible, it's the only way that makes sense. Moving forward, we should put aside all unnecessary preconceptions and just choose the answer. I think.
I'm really curious where Chiaki is going to go in this game. In scenes where you have to figure out the important words, the improved Hangman's Gambit will occur. Amazing. They understood that no one liked the Hangman's Gambit in the original game, so they've just improved it. The goal is to line up the right letters in order so it reveals a keyword related to the incident in question. Improved Hangman's Gambit is a little like a puzzle game. Various letters will be flying across the screen in all directions. There are 2 rules you must remember. If 2 different letters clash, you'll take damage. If 2 of the same letters clash, they will fuse. Interesting. You must make 2 of the same letters clash while you try not to let 2 different letters clash. That is what is most important. In order to do that, you've been giving a technique known as catch and release. When you move the reticle with the mouse and press the right mouse button while it's on top of a letter, you can snatch the letter like a vacuum. That is what it means to catch the letter. However, you can only catch 1 at a time, so be careful. When you press the right mouse button while you have a letter caught, you can shoot it where your cursor is aiming. This is how you release the letter. Okay, so we're gonna be like ping-ponging things in order to not hit each other. And then once they've fused, they will freeze, get bigger, and then I can shoot them. However, if you just erase letters, you won't be able to clear the game. Ultimately, the main goal is completing the keyword. Display the question with the tab key and figure out what keyword you will answer that question. About lining up the keyword, instead of pressing the right mouse button, press the left mouse button. If that happens at the same time the letter blows up, it will be sent to the keyword list. If the sent letter is correct, it will fit in the keyword list. If not, the influence gauge will take damage. You must write the keyword in order, based on the flying letters. Please think about the completed word. So we are making it a little bit less, in theory, we're making it a little bit less to figure out what the word is and a little bit more a skill challenge to complete it. Something is coming to me. Just a little bit more. I have a feeling I can see something. Okay, what is the question? Under the floor. Okay. Well, that's not helpful. What's that? Oh, hang on. I'm looking for a D. Oh, shoot. Okay, this sucks. This is awful. This is so bad. Y'all read any good books lately, or? There is no K. Ah! Finally, thank you, Jesus. Whoops. Wrong button. Oh my god, this is horrible. We have made the figuring out of the question easier and replaced it with a game that's not better. It's just more tedious and awful.
I got it! The killer must have stabbed Byakuya from under the floorboards.
Under the floorboards!
Under the floorboards?
The floorboards in the old building were full
Improved,
of
yeah,
dirt,
sure.
And there was no carpet laid out under the table.
Do I get to make a comic book
They
after
stuck the
this?
weapon through one of the gaps. They could have stabbed Byakuya to death.
Suffering is part of the experience. You need to die inside for the secret trial of your own death. See, that's just the game reinforcing its theme, right? Despair. And from now on, every time I see Hangman's Gambit, I'm going to spiral into despair. It's immersive is what it is.
If so, that means the killer was able to get under the floorboards.
An improved comic.
How? I don't know that yet, but I have a feeling there's someone here who does know.
That's right, if I remember correctly, one person should know how to get under the floorboards. I like that we are selecting somebody not just for the culprit. That it's like, hey, who's this person who has this information?
Hey, Gundam, you dropped your earring in the dining hall, right?
Are you referring to the Hellhound earring?
about that earring.
I said, are you referring to the Hellhound earring?
About that Hellhound earring. You dropped it beneath the floorboard, right?
I still think my favorite gag in any of the trials so far is having to convince Yasuhiro that Kirigiri is not a ghost.
Just a bit longer and I would have reduced everything, including that old building, to ashes. However, it's just as the old legend said. The Hellhound earring has returned to its owner, to me!
Is it safe to say that that earring is the one hanging from your right ear? Huh? Could it be? Gundam wasn't wearing an earring during the investigation. And if he had it on by the time the class trial began, then that means Gundam was able to retrieve his earring from beneath the floorboards during the investigation.
How is the question?
So, Gundam knows how to get under the floorboards.
Because whether it's access from the inside of the building or the outside, that really changes things.
Only view the world through eyes of glass. But I am different. With the power of my 4 Dark Devas of destruction, it is of no concern.
Is it known which of the 4 Dark Devas is which? Because, like, all of them are peak, don't get me wrong. Every single one of the Dark Devas is amazing. But this lad right here, this absolute unit, is the best one of them. Without a doubt. I love this man. I forget what it is known though. Oh, good, good, good. I think it's from the Hangouts. Okay, Sandy is the big one. Okay, good. This one, and then this one, and then this one's in last place. Sorry, buddy. All Dark Devas of Destruction are queens. I feel like Gundam's voice actor had a great time recording those lines. I mean, I have a lot of fun reading out Gundam's lines as well.
Truly, this is the evil 4th eye. Before the might of the evil 4th eye, all visual chaos is rendered asunder.
What should I do? I'm embarrassed just listening to him.
I'll grant you a pass on this one, Sionji.
Man up and speak more clearly.
Fine, I shall tell you all. The answer was in the storage room.
Okay. Okay.
One of my 4 Dark Devas of destruction, Mirage Golden Hawk, Jumpy, has seen beyond the chaos. A secret passage of doom leading to the underground lurks beneath a large assortment of random boxes. After securing a lighter from the supermarket, I threw caution to the wind and ventured below the floorboards.
I love everything about this. I absolutely love everything about this. From the fact that he was prepared to actually literally burn the place down to get this earring back, to the fact that he just kind of let his hamsters run around, the animated shaking, it's great.
And as a result of that lonesome battle, I was able to recover the Hellhound earring with my own 2 hands.
Okay, I have a question for the people who were in my stream on Thursday. Was there actually, did I actually mouse over a text box that said secret passage in that room? Or did I just misread the storage boxes and this just is coincidentally correct? It was there, okay. I imagine that was not supposed to be displayed. And so I didn't move forward with the assumption that was correct. And then the game gaslit you into thinking that it wasn't there. I tried, man. I moused all over. I was like, I swear I saw secret passage, but then I was like, storage boxes, it's another 2-word phrase that begins with S. Like, maybe I'm just crazy. I gaslit too. I appreciate you gaslighting me. Here's the thing. You guys understand when gaslighting is the correct move. Monokuma was playing you. But, yeah, that definitely changes things.
Tremble with fear, fools! Behold my power!
There he goes blabbing about power and crap. You're ridiculous. You're just a breeder, you know.
Man, Saionji out here really with the slurs against straight people.
Anyway, it sounds like you can go under the floorboards from the storage room.
Then that has to be how the killer did it.
So, suddenly I am really liking the direction that this is going. This implies things that I like.
If the space beneath the floor is empty, it's not that far to move from the storage room to the dining hall.
I see. If they passed through the storage room, I understand why the tablecloth was put there.
The killer lurked under the floorboards during the party, and from there, stab, stab, stab!
Are you sure?
You don't like stab, stab, stab? Should it sound more fleshy, like...
I love you, Ibuki.
I'm not talking about your sound effects. You're saying they snuck under the floorboards, but that means they would have had to leave the party, right? So, was there anyone who was able to do that?
Then whoever wasn't at the party is the killer. They must be the one who was waiting under the floorboards. Who wasn't at the party again?
I didn't participate, but I was guarding the entrance, remember? Monami over there can be my witness, right?
Now, this is an interesting question.
Monami over here is your witness.
I believe there's no need to discuss this matter
Okay.
further, but I was unable to leave the bathroom.
I was in the kitchen for a long time, but I frequently went to the dining hall to deliver my dishes.
The only person who wasn't at the party... Judging from the photo I took before the blackout... It obviously has to be him.
Yay! It's decided!
No, Saionji.
What the fuck are you saying? I'm not the killer!
Oh, really? What happened to the tough guy who was saying stuff like,
I can do it.
You tell him, Mahiru.
Don't mess with me! I'll fucking kill you!
see? You're making threats again.
Yep, that's right. Things are starting to get exciting.
Good news, you're now allowed to use the silencer. Oh, what's the silencer? You can use the silencer with the... Oh, that's the white noise. Okay. That's funny. If the difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In that case, you'll still be able to use the silencer, but it'll be somewhat pointless. However, if you feel like doing a little bang bang, you can use it to your heart's content. Bang 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 bang. True. Ibuki's account, Teru's account, Kazuichi's account. Oh, I don't know where we're actually at. I'm not sure which of these I'm gonna need to use. Chiaki's. There we go.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a cockroach.
And they could have stared at panties all day
I hate you.
without going to the storage room in the dark.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
I am sad
But when the
because
party started,
I seem to recall there being a really
nobody
good
saw you, you know.
sound effect whenever you shot down one of
That
the white
means
noise
You have no alibi.
in the first game, and they've removed that.
Culprit is self-evident.
During the party, the
Like, it
killer
felt good to shoot the white noise, and that's just not the
lurking
case
under
here.
the floor like a cock-
And they could have stared at without going to the store.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you, you know. That means you have no alibi.
Oh, that's not it?
Culprit is self-evident.
party, the killer was lurking under the floor
Teruteru's account doesn't help here. Ibuki's account doesn't help.
Stared at panties all day.
Nekomaru's account doesn't help. Kazuichi's
To the
account
storage room in the dark.
doesn't help.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Did I just miss?
Don't act like I'm the fucking...
But when the party nobody saw you. That means you have no alibi.
Okay, I just
No,
missed.
that's wrong.
I was like, hang on, how is that not the correct answer?
No, Fuyuhiko definitely has an alibi. Isn't that right, Chiaki?
Oh, you're right.
Hang on, what just happened in chat? Oh, LMAO. Mod the game file so that shooting the white noise makes the Lego Yoda death scream. Yeah, so AutoMod flagged the phrase shooting the white, which I get it. I understand why that's flagged, but that's really funny. The game just gaslit you again. You got the aim better scrub bounce rather than the think better scrub damage. Yep. Alright, so.
I saw Fuyuhiko after the party started. There's no way he could have been waiting under the floor before then.
You should have said that earlier, dumbass.
It's still your fault. Like, why were you even lurking around the old building in the first place?
So this whole circumstance here brings up a point that I want to make in Danganronpa's favor. The structure of it being that only the person who committed the murder gets away, and there can only be one murderer, really, really narrows down the way that you can think about it. Because really in any murder mystery, you always have to bring up the question of, like, is someone lying? Are there multiple people working together? And if so, you can kind of extrapolate that to be just about anything. Like, right now, Chiaki could just be lying. She could just be protecting Fuyuhiko so that he could go commit the murder. But the fact that she wouldn't benefit from it in any way that we have, you know, been privy to, and we know that she's risking her own death if she lies, that really narrows down the way you can think. And so you can kind of use that as a way to help narrow your train of thought in a more objective and logically constrained sense. Now, certainly at some point, that is not going to be the case. We had, you know, a circumstance in the first game, for example, where there were multiple people doing things and it did not really work out for everybody, but that was also set up. Now the rules might change, or, you know, characters might surprise me, but for most of the class trials so far, that has not been the case, and in the future, I trust that if there ever are multiple people working together, that's not going to just be something that we're left to speculate about, you know? There's going to be some precedent for it. That's the key for good mystery writing, right? Is, you know, making sure that you're not just throwing something at the audience out of completely nowhere.
Shut up!
Maybe
I
there
almost knocked
really
my
is a
water over.
secret passage to go under the floorboards from outside, and he came to spy.
What'd you say, motherfucker?
Oh no!
Wow, he got chewed out, but he looks super happy.
Regardless, it's impossible to go under the floorboards from outside. Chiaki and I already confirmed.
Like maybe Gundam's in on it, and Gundam and Chiaki are both lying about this, you know? That's the kind of train of thought where, like, that isn't productive towards letting your audience solve a murder mystery. You know, if I'm roping in, like, okay, Fuyuhiko's the murderer, and Chiaki is helping cover for him, and Gundam is helping cover for him, and, you know, Teruteru is helping cover for him, and you just keep going down this train of thought, like, at that point, you can just open it up to be literally whatever you want. Maybe Akane is the murderer, and this whole thing about about following the trail from the cord was a lie, and Byakuya was in on it too, and they're all, you know, trying to get everybody killed. You could speculate about anything at all, but you have to have some basis for objectivity.
Then someone definitely went under the floorboards through the storage room during the party.
During the party. It was probably during the blackout. Well, if someone disappeared during the blackout, no one would have noticed.
One thing I do wish we could narrow down is how long did this blackout
Walking
last?
down that dark hallway to the storage room is like trying to make eggs Benedict without any eggs.
You're right. I couldn't even see the office in that darkness, and that room was much closer.
But is it really impossible? It might be better if we examine that possibility a little bit more.
It was super dark, you know? There's no way you'd be able to find your way to the storage room.
Can't stop thinking about it. I feel like there's something I overlooked. For clarity's sake, once again.
It appears we're getting close to the final stage. The blackened or the spotless? Which is superior? I think it's time to settle this.
Okay, I think I have an idea where this is going.
The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room like that, it's like making a seafood bowl without fish.
Is it really not possible?
How did that not work?
What if they used a string like the cord?
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
That is possible as well, actually.
Okay, and I'm gonna go with my gut.
Yes, Akane.
What if they used a light?
It definitely sounds impossible.
The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room, it's like making a seafood.
Is it really not?
What if they used a string?
Maybe there was another pair of night.
What a pain, I'm gonna go with my gut. What if they used a light?
I agree with that. I know. The killer had a light with him.
Oh, I was right? But where could they have found a light?
There was one nearby for sure. See? It's written on the kitchen's equipment list.
20 forks, 20 knives, 20 spoons, 5 iron skewers, 3 frying pans, 20 wine glasses. There are also iron plates for barbecue, even a portable stove for cooking hot pots. Iron plates and a portable stove. I do recall seeing them on the shelf over there. This kitchen seems to be well kept. There should be no problems using it.
It's the portable stove.
Portable stove?
The portable stove isn't powered by electricity, and it's also small enough to carry around. So, the killer used the portable stove to move from the hallway to the storage room during the blackout.
I see. I never considered the portable stove. But there's a hole in your argument.
A
Huh?
hole? What kind of hole?
God, I hate you.
Great if you could explain
That's okay.
it to me in
It's okay.
much more detail.
He'll get what's coming to
I
him.
wasn't making a perverted joke or anything. It's really not a perverted joke. I'm serious.
Repeating yourself just makes it even more suspicious.
Now then, Hajime, will you battle against me? No, that's wrong.
Okay. Alright. If it wasn't explicitly obvious before, now it is. Now it is. I've heard that voice line one too many times to let it go. Nagito is 100%, 1000% Naegi. What does he mean battle? It sounds like he's enjoying a game or something. This is where the fire door is going to come into play.
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the
Oh,
stove
I
that
get
you
it
mentioned.
now.
It contradicts his testimony.
Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
I can't back down!
What? I wasn't prepared for that.
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
I can't back down!
Okay. I guess I just have to be
don't
prepared to
doubt what
spam
Kazuichi
this.
said. What are you trying to say?
So, each phrase
The
has
reason
2 health
Kazuichi couldn't see
points.
the office was because the hallway was dark, right? So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen it? After all, he was walking near the hallway,
I missed.
right? The reason Kazuichi couldn't see it was because the hallway was dark, right? So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen it?
So there is some lag time between when you click and when the sword actually slices, like some
Nagito, did
substantial
you
lag
forget?
time.
Or are you just pretending you forgot?
Alright, so now it makes sense.
Huh? What are you talking about?
There should have been a wall that blocked light. I'm talking about the fire door in the hallway. If you close it, it would form a perfect wall in the hallway. Plus, the hallway rounds a corner just beyond the fire door. So even if there was a small gap in the door, as long as they passed the corner, the light still wouldn't peek out.
I see. You actually noticed the fire door. Just as expected of the ultimate... Oh. You still don't remember your talent, do you?
Who cares about that right now?
Nagito, what are you plotting? For someone who insists he's not the killer, you are quite nosy.
You sound so scary. If you're that angry, why don't you take a deep breath?
You sure like to piss us off. How about I shut your fucking mouth for you?
Hey! It's okay if you guys fight, but I won't allow a burly brawl that might offend people. More importantly, can you hurry up and decide who's the blackened already? Time runs out when I get bored.
Fine, I get it. You're telling me to pass the torch, right?
Pass the torch?
We're going to ask the real
Interesting,
killer,
man.
not an imposter like me, to show themselves.
I appreciate the overarching mystery here of what is going on this island, and how is Monokuma around, and what is going on between Naegi and Byakuya being present for this.
You're obviously the killer, right?
I am so glad I did not do this on
I
Thursday.
really don't mind. Whatever conclusion you ultimates arrive at, I will accept it, no matter what it is.
So you're telling me to call out the real killer, even though I really don't want to condemn that person, but there's no other way, right? The person who used the hallway's fire door as cover and used the portable stove to move in the dark, and snuck under the floorboards to stab Byakuya to death using the glowing paint as a mark. So the only killer I can think of is you, and only you. I'm being given a chance at redemption. One last time. I'm sorry, Byakuya. I have failed you. I can't do it. I can't claim the Byakuya culprit theory anymore. It's officially dead and gone. My heart breaks. I weep. Alas.
You're the only one!
The good news is,
Okay. Could it be you?
we finally get to take down Teruteru.
Huh? What? What are you talking about?
Teru's the killer? Is that true?
What are you talking about? There's no way! Of course, that's simply my assumption. So if you have an objection, please speak freely. Objection or not, why am I being treated like the killer? Because the portable stove used in the murder came from the kitchen. That's it? That's the only reason you're treating me like a killer? Isn't that a little drastic? You're cruel. Cruel. Too cruel.
It would be very interesting if they had recorded lines of dialogue for like everybody that you could possibly accuse and like made you play it out. Like if I were to accuse Mikan and have that like actually carry through and her be like, huh? Me? And then like maybe like 5 or 10 lines of teasing you before it refutes it.
The ultimate cook to get so upset. Call me chef. If you fall to aspersions like this, who will be there to support the future of the culinary arts?
The future of the culinary arts?
That's right. For the future of the culinary arts, you must face this and fight it fair and
Nagito,
square.
what is your deal?
You're right. Yeah, that's totally right.
So, what's an aspersion anyway?
Is it yummy?
Did you know asbestos is yummy too? You should try some later.
Nagito, why are you interfering?
This is him, again, pushing the envelope of, hey, I know that you're the killer, but you need to fight with everything that you have. You need to push and try to win. Not because he actually wants Teru to win, but because he wants everyone else to have to fight at their very best.
Let's assume that the killer used a light, and that they used the fire door to mask that light. And that they moved to the storage room and snuck under the floorboards. Then what? It's dark under the floorboards too. So how would they be able to stab Byakuya? You're not gonna say they shined the light on Byakuya, right? The plan would have been ruined if he noticed.
That's right. What do you think about that?
There's no way you can answer, right? You personally haven't investigated what's beneath the floorboards.
Gundam
If
has.
that's the case, then Gundam should know. He actually went under the floorboards.
Not that I really think he was paying too much attention.
Fortunately, there was nothing related to the incident under the floorboards. The only thing I found was a strange liquid shining in the darkness, near where Byakuya's blood was dripping.
Byakuyas.
What? A shining liquid in the dark?
I am considering a Gundam cosplay.
If there was a shining mark like that, they would have been able to move to it in the dark, right?
And in doing so, it might have been possible for them to use that mark to target the victim.
I would probably have to shave my head on the side, though. Which, like, maybe I'd be willing to do for a cosplay. Oh, I was not paying attention. What is the question? The victim was targeted by a mark. What mark? Oh, I was not at all paying attention. What is going on here? Gundam. Oh, okay. Thank you. I was just thinking about cosplaying. This possibly? Okay, I don't see any other references to the glow-in-the-dark paint.
I can prove it with this. The mark you're talking about is the glowing paint that was applied to the knife, right?
Yes, Gundam. Shining paint clearly had nothing to do with this
By
case.
using the glowing paint as a target, they were able to judge where to stab.
It's clearly the embarrassing pose, of course. How is that going to be relevant? When is that going to be relevant?
Person, they just struck the moment the glowing paint moved.
that would be the moment someone grabbed a hold of the knife.
So, the killer used the mark that I prepared for finding the knife as a mark for stabbing. I see. That's why Byakuya got killed when he took the knife.
But if they were able to do that, wouldn't that mean the killer knew about Nagito's plan all along?
Well, Teru!
Seriously? I don't know anything. Really, I don't know anything at all.
Then can I ask everyone a question instead?
You again? Just stop already!
Now. We should give everyone a fair opportunity to speak.
If Teru is the killer, that would mean he went to the storage room during the blackout. And just what did Ibuki hear during the blackout?
Ah! Don't step on my feet!
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow!
Turn the damn lights on! I can't eat like this, you know!
You guys? Where are you? Wasn't the blackout just in the kitchen?
She heard Teru's voice in the dining hall?
Doesn't that prove Teru was in the dining hall during the blackout?
Not even close?
That's right! That's exactly it!
But Teru was in the kitchen the moment the blackout occurred, right? So, why was he in the dining hall?
I thought the blackout was only in the kitchen, so I panicked and ran out of there. Of course, the hallway was dark too, but somehow I managed to move along the wall toward everyone's voices.
Well, it's not that far to move along the wall from the kitchen to the dining hall.
That sounds fishy.
If I remember correctly, you can tell when a person is lying by licking their sweat.
JoJo references, baby.
If you want, you should try licking me.
No way! You look greasy.
But I heard Teru's voice in the dining hall! Ibuki swears on her honor!
So far, we've had references in the Danganronpa series to JoJo's Part 3, 4, and 5.
That's right. Teru was in the dining hall, not the storage room. Which means he's not the killer.
No, that's not it. Why? Why do you want to keep falsely accusing me? It's not like I want to blame you. I just...
You should be so proud of yourself, Hajime. You're just progressing toward the hope you believe in. Now, Hajime, show me more of your hope. Will that be enough to crush Teru's hope?
Guessing gaps in the floorboard's gonna be our answer here.
Let me ask you again. Did you go to the storage room during the blackout?
There's no way I went to the storage room. I was somewhere totally different.
I definitely heard Teru's voice. It's handsome, unlike his face.
Yep.
Maybe it was recording or something? Nope, definitely a live voice.
Right, as long as I have her testimony. The fact that I was in the dining hall cannot be disputed.
Let me ask you again. Did you go to the storage room during the blackout?
I think that this is correct.
There's no way I went to the... I was somewhere totally... I definitely heard. It's handsome, unlike his face.
Maybe it was...
I love Ibuki.
Nope, definitely...
Right, as long as the fact that I was in the dining hall cannot... I'll shoot through that contradiction. Just because we heard Teru's voice in the dining hall doesn't mean he was literally in the dining hall. Huh? Why? Remember the floor in the dining hall? It was full of gaps, right? So even if you shouted from under the floor, it should have sounded just like the voices in the dining hall.
So he brazenly shouted from under the floor to make us think he was in the dining hall. Is that true, Teru Teru?
Hold on a second.
Can you explain this, Teru Teru?
I told you to wait a second, ain't I? What are y'all even saying anymore? I'm telling you, I was in that there dining hall during the blackout.
You'd never expect it. You know, I was expecting something that's typically done in localization is, you know, there's an accent in the Japanese geology, and I'm not sure where it is, but that, you know, is considered like a lower class Kansai, yeah, maybe Kansai, that, you know, like socially and culturally is considered like a lower class or a lower intelligence sign, and so whenever that is brought up in a localization, it is very often brought up with a southern, like an American southern accent. I did actually think about this on Thursday. I was like, it's kind of surprising that we don't have anybody who has, you know, that noticeable an accent shift. I wasn't expecting that to bop up with Teru Teru. What are y'all even saying anymore? I'm telling you, I was in that there dining hall during the blackout.
Where are you from again?
I was born in West Asabu and raised in South Aoyama.
Aoyama?
Hey, you guys! This guy's a major liar! If Teru Teru was in the dining hall during the blackout, he should have been there after the power returned, right?
Well, I believe so. There's no way he could have gone back and forth in that dark hallway.
Huh? Was Teru Teru actually there during that time?
I sure was. I was there the whole damn time.
You know, he's kind of
Something
going
like
into a
this should be
Cajun
decided
accent,
by gut
actually.
instinct. People's lives are at stake.
Damn right. You guys should have been deciding this on the spot with your hazy memories.
Yeah, he's really going Cajun. Interesting.
His accent is getting even worse. He's definitely lying.
However, I am not sure. I believe that he was there, and I believe that he was not there.
Oh, is there any way we can decide?
Why don't we consult his memories?
Gosh, yeah, don't be saying things like that. Don't make no sense. Can you even prove I wasn't in the dining hall?
I probably can.
All right, yep, here we go.
Oh, you again.
Now it comes... all of the pieces start fitting together. Whether or not Teru Teru was in the dining hall during the blackout, in order to know for sure, I just need to throw that question at him. Where was it?
I can prove it with this. If you're claiming that you were in the dining hall when the power came back, then you should know how Mikan was positioned at the time, right?
Whoa, what? No! Don't make me remember! It's so embarrassing!
No, this is a very important question. Well, Teru Teru, if you were really in the dining hall at that time, you should know the answer to that.
Huh?
It was a pretty clever way of tripping. There's no way you'd forget about it so easily.
Pretty clever way of tripping? That's some bizarre phrasing.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I showed you something so unsightly.
Mikan, literally nobody is complaining.
You can't answer, Teru Teru?
That's weird. Just slipped from my mind.
There's no way it would slip from your mind, especially not a pervert like
Don't clue him in, Mahiru.
Even so, Nagito, say something.
I guess you might have to give up now.
Wait, give up? What do you mean, give up?
Teru Teru. I'm disappointed too, you know. It's lonely watching someone I admire reach the limits of their hope. It kind of feels like a broken dream.
Nagito, what are you doing? Why are you messing with the killer like that?
Hold on
I'm
a sec,
so
don't go moving this
curious what is
along
going
your
on.
own Like I really am the killer.
Like, what happened in between Danganronpa 1 and 2 that broke Naegi? That is not something I was expecting. And it's a very interesting reflection on the themes of Danganronpa 1 and the finale of it specifically.
Huh? But it's already decided, right?
Da 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 da.
Some other weapon hadn't been cleared up yet, Chef?
It's no use. I can't understand him anymore. It appears he's saying the murder weapon hasn't been cleared up yet.
You understand him?
But it's such a sad defense. This is
When did she get mushrooms?
cruel.
Oh, you calling me the killer? Then where's the weapon?
Come on, Manumi! Enough with the whimpering and translate!
He said, if you're calling me the killer, then where's the weapon?
Weapon, huh? It's not the knife, right?
Judging from Byakuya's wounds, it was a thin-edged tool that's roughly 5 millimeters in diameter.
Also, if they stabbed from under the floorboards, the weapon would need to be at least 50 centimeters in length.
I don't think this would be too hard to cosplay.
After all this, who cares about the weapon?
The scarf should be really easy. Might need a little excess material, but I could probably get a jacket and modify it.
Fine, I got it.
The hair is going to be the biggest
Try thinking
challenge.
about what the weapon was.
Wanna do it? Wanna do it?
He said, try to do it.
What a confusing accent.
Anyway, we need to focus and think about this. A thin edge tool with I'm not even... We know what this is. We know what this is. Oh my god. Meat skewer. Oh! I feel despair. I don't want an S. I don't want an N. I still don't want an N. Ah! No, you have to go in order. I don't want an I. Jesus. I don't want an I. Just S-K-E-W-E-R, yeah. Is it not meat skewer? Iron skewer? Okay, fine. It's an iron skewer. This might actually be the worst minigame I have ever played in any game ever. Alright, there are ways that I can optimize this. Unless it's just going to give me all the letters in order, that's fine. I don't need any more S's. Okay, I'm going to just save this for a while. Whoops. Oh my god, I need an R. Please. Thank you.
I got it.
I can't wait to watch a Danganronpa 2 speedrun and see how that minigame is like the thing that determines your gold splits.
Huh? The iron skewer?
Before the party, as Byakuya was confiscating all the dangerous items, he spoke to Teru Teru.
I checked the equipment list, and there seems to be one iron skewer missing. Ah, that's right. As far as I know, that's been missing from the start.
So that missing iron skewer is the weapon?
An iron skewer would match up with the wounds perfectly.
Hey, Teru Teru, where'd you hide the iron skewer?
Avril Lavigne!
Avril Lavigne?
Huh? Did he really just say that?
He's just saying random shit to fuck with us. You probably dumped it somewhere on the island, didn't you?
This school trip has a no littering rule. If he had violated it, the island sirens would be ringing non-stop.
Island sirens? Just for littering?
Also, I was on guard duty, and I never once saw Teru Teru leave the old building.
Which means he obviously hid it somewhere in the old building.
It's probably the kitchen again, right?
I would like to be
Teru,
not sick anymore.
Just man up and be straight with us.
Oh. 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 Whoa!
Anyway, the bit about Avril Lavigne. I think this is a joke on how... So in a Cajun, it's primarily as an accent derived in, like, the Louisiana area that immediately surrounds... I was going to say St. Louis. That's not correct. New Orleans. And that area has a very, very heavy French... history linguistically. Like a lot of the street names and building and landmarks, they're very French inspired and French derived. So when earlier he's saying cher, he's saying like ma chère, like a French word for, I'm not sure what it actually is, I don't speak French, but it's a way to refer to somebody. So prior to that, he was referring to someone as like Cher, 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 and now we're kind of switching the joke because Cher is also a very famous female pop singer. So he switches from Cher to Avril Lavigne, and I think that's where this joke comes from. I think she's Canadian, so probably Cher is also Canadian. So I was wondering if it was also a Canadian pop singer. Deep cut reference, yeah, that joke takes some dissecting. There are some layers to that one. A cornered opponent will be surrounded by soul shields and simply will not listen to what you have to say. It will probably pain you to condemn your classmate, but this is a class trial after all. You must argue against your opponent and destroy their soul shields. A high-speed dispute battle where you beat down a panicked opponent's excuses and nonsense. Please don't be the rhythm minigame again. That's the bullet time the panic talk action. PTA, no. Destroy your opponent's marks. No, not this again. This did not work in the original game. I was, like, not clicking on the beat. Time your button presses with the tempo markers and moves across the screen. Match the tempo marker by pressing the left mouse button. Okay. 4 words will be displayed on the top, bottom, left, and right side of the screen. Each of those 4 words corresponds to the WASD keys. Okay. If you press the buttons in the right order, you'll be able to compose the words of your final strike. Oh, God.
What the hell you even saying, you stupid cutter hit?
He said, oh, what the hell are you even saying, you stupid country hit?
I guess we have no choice but to somehow find out for ourselves.
So where might he have hid the skewer? If not, just under the floorboards. Or no?
I'm not hiding that thing.
He said, I'm not hiding anything.
I'm not hiding anything. I'm not hiding anything.
Must reveal to Terra the conclusive evidence that proves he's the killer. Let me just take a look at our truth bullets real quick. The only thing I can think of would be perhaps in like some of the piping or something. But I'm more focused on just not screwing up this minigame.
Shut up. That's impossible.
Okay, this is at least visually
Nonsense.
much clearer than the first one was.
Unforgivable.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Nonsense.
The words aren't there yet.
Shut up. That's impossible. Nonsense. Unforgivable.
This ain't fun. See, here's the thing.
I don't know. Nonsense.
The tempo of the music does not feel like I am matching it, but also the speed up happened at a time that there was no music.
Unforgivable. Where would the weapon be?
Like, it was dead silent at the moment that the tempo
Where would
changed.
the weapon be? This is the end.
There we go. On the meat
Iron
bone.
skewer have been hidden inside the piece of meat
It
on the
took me a
bone.
minute to understand what was going on there. This word combination is still a meme in the DR community, and Ben fell for it. I'm glad that that is a that is a meme.
That's clearly impossible. I mean, that's inside the food.
Impossible. That's what Byakuya and I thought. That's why we overlooked it.
Seems there are no dangerous items like that skewer in the churrasco earlier inside that pile of food. That appears to be the case. Phew, I wouldn't have known what to do if he said fish bones and meat bones were also dangerous items.
But in fact, the only place you could hide the weapon was inside the food that couldn't be inspected. Out of all the dishes you prepared, the only one that could hide a weapon as long as an iron skewer is?
Nah, see, this just goes back to what I was talking about the other day with burgers. Just skewer one of the burgers, and that keeps it stable and steady, and then that's nice and hidden.
I'm using my right to remain silent.
There's no way that exists here.
We need to confirm this now. So if we eat that tasty-looking piece of meat and find the iron skewer inside, bullseye!
All right. Monokuma or Monami, one of you hurry and bring over that piece of meat.
I feel like Monami
1
is not in
minute.
position.
Just give me 1 minute. I'll eat the whole thing.
Wait, hold on a second. Time out.
What are you doing? Hurry up and bring it over!
About that.
Huh? Where did Monokuma go?
I'm right here. I'm already eating it.
Ah, a bear that eats meat! Wait, now that I think about it, that's pretty normal.
Oh, Ibuki.
What is this? So yummy!
Damn it! That's my meat!
I was expecting
I've never
Akane
eaten
to
anything
object.
like it in my entire life. The taste brings me back to my days in the wild.
This is bad! Seriously, this is really bad!
My, there's something inside the meat. Look what came out.
Is that an iron skewer?
Who could have
Check
guessed?
it out. The handle looks like it's made of bone. Pretty clever.
The sword of destruction, encased in bone and sheathed in meat. It brought catastrophe unto Byakuya.
As expected of Teru Teru.
I've only had Gundam for
Such a
15 minutes,
fantastic
but if anything ever
weapon, the
happens to him, I'd
ultimate
kill
ship.
everyone in this room and then myself.
You're wrong! I'm not the killer! I'm not the kind of person who would kill someone! I got it! You all set me up! You guys set me up so you could blame this on me!
Jeez, what a disappointment. Such an unseemly defense for an ultimate like you. Can you really call that hope?
Hey, Nagito. I'm sorry, but can you just be quiet?
Yas, Chiaki. True.
He said, you're all nothing but a bunch of poor, loudmouth, fast food eating hicks.
You don't need to translate anymore.
We need to find 4 Dark Devas of Destruction for the Gundam cosplay. I imagine that that's not going to be the hardest part of that. Let's just deal with Nagito later. More importantly, we should first...
I guess we need to settle this. Once and for all.
No, I don't want to make a comic book.
To do that, you need to go over the
No.
entire incident from
Chiaki,
beginning to
no.
end and make
Please.
everything clear.
Anything but that. Go over the entire incident. And then I can prove Teru Teru's crime. That's right. If we don't do that, we can't end this, no matter how much time passes.
So, we need to do it.
So it's finally come to this. My throb is chesting. You what now? Every case has one last feature to bring the class trial to an end. That is the closing argument. In this phase, you'll give a complete summary of the case. You'll have to reproduce the order of events in the case of the form of a comic book. No! Alright. Alright. Everyone at the party is hungry. Oh, there's actual text here, though. Oh, okay, I see. I get it now. Okay, so you only get 5 items at first. You have to slot them in, and then you'll get more as time goes on. Okay, I see. So this will go here. Nope. Wrong, okay. The air conditioner turned on right here or here. Maybe right here? Nope. Okay. Right here then. Switched on. What is that? Oh, that's a burner? Oh, okay, hang on. There we go, okay. Case containing potential weapons. Borrowing the tablecloth. Right there. Nope. Oh boy, I'm gonna lose this freaking comic book, man. This sucks. Where does the unlit burner go? That goes there. Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, that makes way more sense. I like this. This is great. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that makes way more sense now. Last stock. What's up, Ibuki? What's up, Hiyoko? What's up, Chiaki? Okay, what am I missing? Yay, Ibuki's actually important. Everyone at the party is drinking juice? Everyone at the party is...
Here's everything that happened
Chiaki
in
is
this
guarding
case.
the door. That's a weird prompt.
Let's try going over the whole incident, beginning with right after the party started. Byakuya had us gather in the dining hall of the old building near the hotel. He was extra cautious about a murder occurring that night because of a threatening letter he received. Therefore, he decided to throw a party so he could monitor us. Though one person didn't
Oh, I didn't
come,
even look at the
rest
top
of us
left corner of
assembled
this
at the
panel.
dining
I didn't actually
and the
look at the
party
art
was
in the
underway.
panels. Aw, poor Pecco. Poor Neko.
But at that time, the trap set by a certain someone was already in motion. They plugged 3 irons into the outlets in the storage room, which nearly capped the power usage. Additionally, they prepared something else that would activate at 11:30 p.m. The air conditioners in the office and dining hall. They had already set the timers for these. Thanks to the irons maxing out the power usage, the breaker was tripped when the air conditioners kicked on. Since the windows in the old building were covered, the blackout plunged the dining hall into total darkness. But when that happened, Byakuya took out a specific item that he brought in his case. That item was the night vision goggles. Byakuya was so concerned about a murder occurring that he brought a variety
I like that
of
we've
security
taken the
equipment
title
with him.
theme music and adjusted it to
When he
fit
put
the
on his
vibe.
night vision goggles, Byakuya witnessed a certain someone making a suspicious move. He saw Nagito guiding himself with the desk lamp's power cord so he could get under the table. That's right. Everything up to that point was all part of Nagito's plan. The murder warning to Byakuya, the source of the blackout, it was all Nagito. While the blackout was happening, someone else, the real killer, began making their move in the kitchen. The killer probably already knew about Nagito's plan, so they knew a blackout was coming. That's why the killer prepared all the items they would need to commit their crime in the dark beforehand. They needed a light source, which was provided by the portable stove in the kitchen. They needed a weapon, too. This had also been hidden in the kitchen beforehand.
So the big question that comes out of this
The
is
long iron
why
skewer used in the churrasco dish.
did Teru
The killer
Teru
hid
know
that
about the
inside
plan
that
in the
meat with
first
bone in
place?
it.
And I am assuming that the answer is Nagito just straight up told him,
With the weapon
and
portable
Teru
stove in
Teru
hand,
was
the killer stepped out
naive
into
enough
the
to
hall.
believe things would go his way.
First, they closed the fire door in the hallway so their light source wouldn't peek toward the dining hall. Then, guided by the light, the killer headed toward the storage room and grabbed a specific item. That's right, a tablecloth to block the blood splatter. With this, the killer finished their preparations and snuck under the floorboards through the secret passage. They probably turned off the portable cooking stove at that point, or left it near the entrance of the door. The floor in the dining hall is full of gaps, so there's no way they could have safely held a light source. But thanks to the glowing mark they painted earlier, the killer was able to get beneath the table. Under the table, Byakuya found the knife that had been hidden there. If only he had retreated, he probably wouldn't have gotten killed. He had to retrieve that knife, and at that moment, the killer lurking beneath the floorboard stabbed straight up with the iron skewer. The killer had been waiting in the dark for the moment when the glowing paint began to move. After they murdered Byakuya, the killer purposefully shouted from beneath the floorboards to make it seem like they were still in the dining hall. Afterward, they came out from underneath the floorboards and rushed back to the kitchen. And then, after hiding the murder weapon in the kitchen, they rejoined the group as if nothing had happened. There's only one person who would have been able to commit this crime. Especially if that person is someone who'd think of an unexpected way to hide a weapon inside food. Isn't that right, Teru Teru Hanamura?
I'm not upset. I'm really not.
That's what happened. How about it? Did I get anything wrong?
This
is a mistake. A mistake, I tell you. I would never kill anyone. Would never.
It seems this is the end.
Please don't kill with the Mana Beast. Oh yeah, coins. I sincerely hope that we're not going to see the Mono Beasts be the method by which the executions happen. What was this? Oh, was this the slicey thingy?
It looks like your argument has come to a close. Oops! I lost control of my wild side for a second. Was that a side effect of the meat I just ate? Well, putting that aside, let's move along to the nerve-wracking voting time!
Oh, I wonder what the display is going to be. Because in the original game, it was a slot machine.
Oh, just a reminder, make triple sure you vote for someone. If you don't vote, I'm gonna eat you up just like that meat from earlier.
Why did this happen?
Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Such heart-pounding excitement!
Looks like we're doing the slot machine again. All rise.
Correct.
Yoo-hoo!
Oh no, it's gonna make me do voice acting again. All right, it's been 3 hours. I'm gonna take a break. Fill up my water, and then we'll wrap up chapter 1. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. We will finish up this chapter, and then I suppose probably tomorrow I'll be starting chapter 2. Now, I know that the end of chapter stuff can actually still take quite some time, so I don't know how long this is going to go on for. But I'll definitely be able to wrap up the chapters tonight, so I'll see you guys in a few. Sorry for the delay there, guys. I had a bit of a sneezing fit while I was off stream. I've missed some dialogue here in the chat, I see. Senpapi said, watch the chef kill Ibuki and Hiyoko kill Sonya just to piss Vent off. Either Byakuya dies super early, be it as victim or through execution, or he's going to be a major player till the end. Senpapi is a prophet. You don't really think about it at first when you're confused about Byakuya in general, but from a player perspective, he was way too competent and helpful to live. Well, there was the open question for a while of like, is this a sequel? Is this a prequel? I don't know. I settled on sequel pretty easily, but even so, it was... There's a lot of layers of confusion with him. Though Kyoko was less interested in things like protecting everybody, so her competence was really getting in the way of the whole conceit of murders happening, yeah. Yeah. Well, gotta go to bed. Aww. Alright, well thanks for being here, Lugi. If you're not already out of the picture, thank you very much for being here, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow. Fun fact. Kyoko was originally the first victim in the Distrust demo, aka Danganronpa 1, before it was DR1. That's cool. I should play that at some point. I didn't know that was a thing. That's right! This time, the Blackened responsible for killing Byakuya Togami is Teruteru Hanamura. No. You... Are you serious? Out of all these people... Are you saying a ponce like him is the one who killed Byakuya? But... Why? Why did you kill him?
You've got it wrong.
It was a mistake. I'm telling you, it was just a mistake. I was only trying to save you guys.
Hey!
I was only trying to stop Nagito from murdering one of you. Trying to stop? What do you mean? You're out too? Alright, no worries, Sun Poppy. Thank you for being here. I'll be seeing you hopefully tomorrow as well. I spent all morning in the old building preparing dishes for the party. And then I heard a weird laughter near the dining hall. When I peeked over there, I saw him. I saw Nagito in the middle of cleaning duty putting the knife under the table. I had a bad feeling about it, so I continued to watch what he was doing. And I saw him place the irons he brought in the storage room and mess with the air conditioner timers. Plus he was grinning. Just grinning by himself the whole time. So, I questioned him.
When that happened, he...
You caught me?
Oh, I've been caught?
What?
Been caught?
Hey!
What are you doing? What are you scheming? I'm planning to kill someone, of course. Teru, just to let you know, it's pointless of you to stop me. If you stop me now, it doesn't matter. I will never give up. Whether it's tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, or the days beyond that, I'll definitely start the killing. Oh, pardon me.
Impossible!
What? No matter how much you want to leave the island, that's just... I see. So that's what you think.
Well...
But that's not it at all. This isn't about my survival. I just want the killing to start.
What?
What are you saying? I love everyone here. That's why I want to be of good use to them. I love all of the Ultimates, and I admire them for being symbols of hope.
Amazing!
That's right. In the name of hope, I love everyone's talents from the bottom of my heart. That's why I don't want them to lose against something like killing. I want them to prove to me that hope will never lose, no matter how daunting the despair they face may seem. I want everyone to prove to me that hope will never lose to despair.
No.
What are you saying? I don't understand at all.
See?
Isn't it typical that if you face a strong enemy, you'll become even stronger yourself? Ah, the Saiyan mindset. Which means, the stronger the despair you face, the stronger everyone's hope will become, right? I want to see that brightness. And in order to see it, I'm going to become everybody's stepping stone. I want to make your hope shine. It's as simple as that. That's right. I yearn for a powerful hope that can overcome any kind of despair.
You're kidding, right?
That's really interesting. How he's become the counterpoint to, like, a dark reflection of the original culprit in the first game. Are you kidding? Don't tell me you're actually serious. Man. You don't understand. That's fine, I don't really mind. I'm just an obsessed fanboy, so it's alright that this love of mine is unrequited. I suppose I can be called the ultimate fanatic.
No way!
You... There's something wrong with you. Really? Do you think so? Do you really think that there's something wrong with me?
Hey.
But isn't that what love is? Alright. Crackpot theory. Crackpot theory is, this isn't actually Naegi. This is just someone who watched the original broadcast of Danganronpa 1 and somehow forced their way into this. We're being debated by the author. My recovery has been pretty swift. The difference between yesterday and today is night and day, so I'm really hoping that by tomorrow I won't be all, like, stuffy and sniffly. No way, he has to be an AI robot of Naegi? Yeah, that's it. Explain it to me. I don't understand anything about this story at all. You see, if you have a favorite boxer, don't you want him to fight against a strong opponent and win?
Don't fuck with me!
You better not compare us to that.
What?
Huh? Am I wrong? It's a given that trials are necessary to become strong, and the harsher the trial, the stronger you become, no? For mere humans, killings are simply a tragedy, but for worthy humans, a trial such as this can elevate their status to an even higher level.
Amazing.
It's amazing to me that someone as untalented as myself can become that trial. There's no point in someone like me surviving. It's far more significant for me to die as everyone's trial.
Great.
There's no greater honor than becoming the foundation so that your values may ascend to brave new heights.
What's going on?
Stop it. You're seriously starting to piss me off.
What's going on?
I don't understand at all. Are you saying you basically wanted to commit murder for fun? It's not the same as someone killing for fun, but I guess it'd look the same in your eyes. I have no intention of surviving and leaving you all to die. Is that why you didn't mind when Teru discovered your plan?
That's wrong.
Or perhaps that was intentional too.
So...
Nagito wanted to involve us in the killing. Plus, it'd be better for him if the mystery was more complex. Is that why you blatantly revealed your plan to Teru? You expected to pique his curiosity, and you looked forward to the mystery becoming more complex. Well, you're basically right. It's true I was looking forward to that. That's why I took the time to tell him about the secret passage I found while I was cleaning.
What?
That was your doing as well.
You're right.
I just casually mentioned it. Oh, it's dangerous if you fall, so don't get too close to it.
Hey!
This dude, he's seriously batshit crazy. He's insane. That's right. That's why I tried to stop him, you know?
However...
But why? Why did you kill Byakuya instead? I don't know. Because Nagito was the one who was supposed to take that knife. That's why I aimed and thrusted the iron skewer there. Why is Byakuya the one who died? It was supposed to be Nagito, not him. Byakuya probably tried to stop Nagito from grabbing the knife. Then in place of Nagito... No, I don't think that's it. Huh?
Perhaps...
Byakuya was probably trying to protect Nagito.
What did you say?
See?
Because Byakuya said so, didn't he? Don't worry, as long as I'm the leader, I won't let anyone become a victim.
I will guide you all.
That much, I promise. Could it be? In order to keep that promise? As long as he was wearing the night vision goggles, I'm sure he saw someone moving under the floorboards. And that someone was aiming for Nagito.
Why?
So Byakuya gave his life to protect Nagito, even though he was trying to take the knife. See, Byakuya is amazing. To keep his promise to protect everyone, he actually threw his own life away. But yet,
Such despair.
I never expected an ending like this. Such despair. What? But we shouldn't let him die in vain. I'm sure everyone will become even stronger by overcoming this despair.
No way.
Could it be? You knew Byakuya would protect you, so you set him up to fail.
Someone like me?
Of course not. I'm not that good at calculating. I just took some precautionary measures. The results of that were going to be my fun for later. Just kidding.
How unexpected.
But I never expected it would turn out like this. I never thought I'd be the one to survive. But since it was my life that had been saved, I didn't want to just waste it. So that's why I decided to help Teru. Why? Well, because Teru decided to commit his crime because he also had a strong hope, right? Which means his actions were motivated by hope. If he was willing to go that far, I thought he might truly be the person whose existence I was waiting for. I thought he might be the hope that could defeat any type of despair. In order for me to confirm it, I decided to help Teru. What do you mean confirm? Just stop already.
Well,
Plus, I couldn't really help myself when I also empathized with Teru. After all, he wanted to kill me, but ended up killing Byakuya instead, you know? If I left him in that confused state, this trial might have been ruined, right?
Isn't that right?
But in order for our hope to grow, this trial was absolutely necessary. That's why I decided to help him. I told him, I don't care if I die, so you should just focus on escaping this island.
Right?
Those were my exact words to him before the investigation. Isn't that right, Teru? Man. In the end, my help just wasn't enough, and this turned out to be a bad ending for Teru. You should be proud of yourself. You will not die in vain.
Great.
You'll become a splendid sacrifice for everyone else so their hopes can grow even more powerful.
Impossible!
Sacrifice?
Shut up! Shut up!
Seriously, stop it already. I'm gonna go crazy just listening to you.
Hey.
Hey, is it really okay for us to just leave this crazy bastard alone like this?
Huh?
Isn't it better if we just fucking kill him off? Kill, he said. High school students are so violent these days. Oh, I missed there was a follow from I'm Maiden now. Thank you very much for the follow. But the person who's gonna get killed now isn't Nagito. It's Teru.
What's the matter?
You didn't forget, right? As I told you already at the beginning, right? If the blackened killer loses, a fun punishment awaits them.
Wait.
Oh, hold on.
No.
That was... how should I put it? An accident. An act of self-defense. Not intentional. Anyway, I feel it's possible it's not my fault.
Hey!
I followed hours ago. Why didn't it pop up now? Oh, it didn't just pop up now. I only just noticed it now. I do see it was about 2 hours ago. But I just... sometimes the audio doesn't play right on my end. Or, you know, I'm not paying enough attention. But I like to make sure everybody who drops a follow gets properly thanked. Because it is something that I really appreciate. It doesn't matter if it's an accident, self-defense, or intentional. A murder is still a murder. If you kill someone, that's murder.
Hey!
But isn't there anything like sympathy judgments, extenuating circumstances, or maybe even probation?
Impossible!
I don't accept any of those claims.
That's... Hey!
Save me, you guys. I was only trying to stop Nagito, so...
Why you?
Be honest. After learning about Nagito's plan, you saw an opportunity, right? You probably thought nobody would find out if you killed him after messing up his plan, right? That's what you thought, right?
Wrong.
You're wrong. I mean, that does raise an interesting question. Like, what was Teru's plan after the fact? Like, how was he planning on... Let's assume that he kills Nagito appropriately, and then he just yeets. What, is he just like, oh yeah, that's it, no trial's gonna happen? There's no way a person who has no malice would kill someone like that. In truth, you were just desperate to kill Nagito, and willing to sacrifice everybody else to survive. Just be honest already, at least in the end. He's right, though. Like, the fact that he immediately, in the darkness after he stabbed someone, said, like, you know, oh, it was dark in the kitchen, and he you know, made it back and tried to play it off. Like, clearly, at that point, his mind was made up, and he was going to sacrifice everyone else to get himself off the island. No sympathy for this guy.
That is...
Teru.
Why?
If only you didn't try to kill Nagito, Byakuya would still be alive.
Answer me.
Why did you try to commit murder? Answer me, Teru. I just wanted to go home.
I needed to go back home no matter what!
Because she's waiting for me. Mama, is waiting for me at home. She's waiting all by herself for the day I graduate Hope's Peak Academy and come home.
Okay,
Aw.
I'm going now.
Aw.
When I come back, I think we should talk again about opening an Aoyama and Azabu location.
Oh my, you're still talking about that?
Now this is not a Cajun accent. Oh my, you're still talking about that. Kind of somewhere between Georgia and Louisiana.
Oh, I'm serious. The Academy guarantees success for its graduates, right? So, I know it's gonna be difficult by yourself, but wait for me until then, okay?
Yes, you're right. Then I'll just have to do my best to keep the Hanamura Diner from going out of business until then.
Mom, you don't have to work so hard. What if you collapse again while I'm gone?
I'll be fine. Moms are strong. I won't lose to some illness.
I know that already. I know that already.
I promised. I promised her I'd become a full-fledged cook and save the Hanamura Diner. Mama is waiting for me to keep that promise. Even though she's sick and alone, she's still waiting for me.
That's why I need to go home!
Teru. But if we were told our memories were stolen and that several years had passed since our first day,
Hey!
then what happened to the Hanamura Diner? What happened to my mom who's still waiting for me? So you did believe what Monokuma said.
Damn it!
You were saying all along. It's okay, I'll never believe something like this. So, why?
Wrong!
I still don't believe it. There's no way I can believe it. It has to be a lie.
That's why I wanted to go home!
I wanted to go home and confirm it. I wanted to make sure it was all just a lie. I wanted to make sure that I still have a place to call home. Teru, you... I don't believe it. I don't believe it. It's not that Teru didn't believe it. He believed it more than anybody else here. That's why he kept denying it. Because he believed it, he needed to deny it. Damn it. If I only knew how he felt, something like this would have never happened. I wanted to confirm by any means necessary. I had to do something. That's when I heard Nagito's plan. I found out he was going to kill someone if I left him alone. That's why. That's why.
Fine.
So, you wanted the first kill.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't mean I wanted to sacrifice any of you, but it was the only thing I could do. And I ended up killing Byakuya instead of Nagito.
I think I'm the one who went crazy.
I see. Interesting. But as far as motives to kill are concerned, wanting to see your mom is so boring.
What?
It seems there's no point in basking in the afterglow, so let's hurry up and begin the punishment.
You can't!
Jeez, get out of my way! Well now.
There. Now that the annoying little sister has been dealt with, let's get back to business.
Wait!
Hold on a sec. I'm not asking for forgiveness anymore, but at least...
Now then,
I've prepared
a very special punishment!
There we go.
Hey!
Call me chef! No, wait, that's not what I...
Please!
Please, tell me at least... What happened to the Hanamura Diner? To Mama?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
Lies! I won't believe this!
I won't believe it! Rip. Okay, it doesn't look like we're getting the Mono Beast. Well, maybe we are. Aw, damn it. Oh, nope, okay. We're gonna bake him. Yep. Well, that confirms there is a volcano on the island.
Extreme!
Yahoo! The adrenaline is rushing through me. Teru.
Damn it!
Are you fucking serious?
How cruel.
Why did you do something so cruel?
What?
Huh? Didn't you learn when you were in elementary school? If you badmouth someone, the teacher writes it in a note and makes whoever you badmouth read it to you in front of the whole class.
No.
When that happens, only then do you think about how it feels to be badmouthed. The same applies to murder.
What are you saying?
You're the one who drove him to do it. So cruel. This is just too cruel.
Nice.
Well, it can't be helped. Rules are rules, and this is the killing rule after all. What rule? You're the one who's breaking the rules. Hmm? I can't just let that slide. What do you mean? When you mentioned the motive, didn't you also promise something? However, there's a catch. Don't tell me the catch is, figured it out yet? You have to kill each other. That's my bargaining point. If you want your school memories returned to you, right, then you better start killing. Oh, interesting. Lava is not a liquid in the way it's usually thought of. If you dropped on lava, it'd be like dropped on super hot rock, but still solid, yeah. I mean, it's more cinematic if you imagine it as a liquid. You know, these were supposed to be kind of realistic, like electrocution, pelted with balls, crushed by fire truck, but tanking multiple missiles. I mean, the Mondo butter was kind of the jumping the shark moment for realistic executions. I would like them to be a little bit more grounded, but like, I'm not expecting it to be 100% realistic at this point. Plus, they're gonna keep escalating, I feel. Why didn't you just tell Teru about his mom or his diner? He had a right to know. Yeah. Us too. We all have a right to know.
Bastard!
Hey, hurry up and tell us. What did you mean earlier when you mentioned our school memories? Oh, yeah. I did promise to return your memories after the killing began. You're gonna do it. But telling them is kind of... But I never told you guys that I'd tell you right away.
What?
What?
Not fair. Of course.
Of course I'll keep my promise to return your memories someday. But it's still not clear when that someday will actually be. I must excuse myself as well. There's something I need to do.
Huh?
What the heck?
So cruel!
That's not fair. They both ran away?
Then
Monokuma had us all wrapped around his finger after all.
Stupid!
Teru, you stupid...
Such despair.
An ending like this is just full of despair. A seriously tragic despair. But still, at times like this, as the symbols of hope, you guys need to keep doing your best.
You.
Why are you smiling?
Crap!
How can you smile in a situation like this, you creep?
Nope.
Hold on, I'm sad too, you know? Didn't I tell you? From the bottom of my heart, I truly love you all. You ultimates who inspire hope, and your splendid talents. There's no way I can be happy when we've lost such a talented individual.
Don't fuck with me!
Don't go saying creepy shit, I'll fucking kill you. Please, kill me anytime.
What?
Huh? If you hate me, I don't mind you killing me. I've already prepared myself to become your stepping stone.
Someone like me?
If absolute hope can be born from that, then my life is nothing special. You. How messed up are you?
Hey.
However, if you're gonna kill me, make sure you discuss it with me beforehand, okay? See, if you do that, then I can cooperate with the killer. You seriously intending to help the killer? It's really not that big of a deal. If you're students of Hope Speak Academy, if you're the symbols of hope who possess the chosen talents,
Great.
then it shouldn't matter to you guys at all if I cooperate with the killer, right?
Declaring so confidently that you'll side with the killer.
Hey!
Maybe this was his plan all along. Since he's willing to work with the killer, he wants us to think it's better for us not to kill him. Well, I don't mind what you guys think of me. In actuality, thanks to Byakuya, I'm starting to feel a small desire to live.
This is exciting.
Mostly, I just want to watch everyone destroy all the despair that comes for you, one after the other. Just kidding.
Piss me off.
Can I punch ya? I won't be satisfied till I punch ya. Let's stop this already. It's just going to be a waste of time. If we keep dealing with him...
What?
Even Hajime hates me now.
How unfortunate.
That stings. I felt you and I were quite similar. What does that?
Isn't that right?
You hold a special feeling towards Hope's Academy. Just like me. Sorry guys, I'm getting real, like, stuffy all up in the sinuses. Give me just a sec. This was easier when everyone was talking for me. Don't put me in the same category as you.
Hey.
Cheers, door. But how can you say you're not? Monokuma said it himself. We don't know anything about each other's true nature. No, if it's true that our school memories were stolen, it's the same as not knowing our true selves, too. Especially for you, right? So someone who can't even remember what his talent is... Kane, please feel free to punch him. Will do!
Wait!
Hold on!
Please stop!
Nothing will come from fighting like this. There's something else that we must do.
Huh?
Something else.
Please listen!
We must not argue with each other in a place like this. There's something more important we must do.
Let me ask.
Which is...
Do our best.
You fiend.
Well?
We must first leave here and get some rest. Then, we shall all work together and do our best. Do our best so we never have to come back here.
Perhaps.
That is what I believe we must do right now.
I am sorry!
If only I was a better motivational speaker. No, that really touched my heart. You're totally right. What we need to do right now is do our best. If we do our best, it's definitely gonna pay off. Right?
Yes.
That is right.
Like...
But what do we have to work hard at? I do not know, but we must do our best.
Jeez.
I don't get you at all. Are you some kind of moron?
Well?
It's fine if you don't know. What matters is that you hold on to the feelings that you have in your, to do your best.
Right?
So let's do our best.
Let's make sure killing like this never happens again.
But...
It's scary, but doing our best is our only is our only option. There's no way I'm doing what Nagito said.
I'm gonna do it!
Alright. I don't know what you're all talking about, but let's do our best for now.
Fine.
Very well. Even if we are not able to change the future, I guess it should at least change my tomorrow. Damn fiend! I won't give up until the very end. I won't die in vain. I'll give my entire existence, my entire power, my entire body and soul, and fight to the very end.
Yeah, you're right. Let's definitely work together and leave this island. Do our best. We keep using that phrase over and over again, even though we knew they were just cheap, meaningless, empty words. Regardless, we still said it. And we continued to say it over and over without stopping. Thus, the curtain had fallen upon the class trial where Byakuya and Teruteru were sacrificed. Afterwards, we left the trial grounds and returned to the mainland of Jabberwock Island. For the time being, we decided to go back to our cottages. After experiencing something like that, there was no way I could fall asleep. I gave up, got out of bed, and began walking around the hotel grounds for no real reason. After not doing much of anything, I dully looked up at the sky. And there, just like before, there it was, the night sky brimming with stars. Stars that looked like they were about to fall into my hands like fluttering snow. As I looked up at such a beautiful night sky, I can go anywhere. That thought crossed my mind for some reason. The sky is connected to anywhere, even to my daily life. That's why I might be able to go home. That's right. I'm definitely going to go home. That's when it happened. As I stared up at the night sky, I felt a strange convergence of sensation. And then, while I continued to stare at the night sky, I felt my entire body stiffen with that sensation. Isn't this...
Is someone watching me?
I mean, there are cameras for a reason, dude. Okay, so it definitely just is counting down days and minutes and seconds. That was an interesting... 3-star badge. That was an interesting way to transition out of that. The wooden stick. Well, as much as I would like to continue moving on...
Humans have been taught that if you try hard enough, you can accomplish anything.
Much as I want to continue moving on, I know I can't. So that is going to be where we wrap it up for tonight. At the end of episode 1, beginning of episode 2. Huh. A lot of revelations have happened here. Is Nagito Naegi? Definitely signs point to yes. Who is watching me right now? What's up with the stars? What's up with the countdown, with the timer? Why doesn't Asami want us to get our memories back? Wait, no, not Asami. Usami. Usami. Why doesn't she want us to get our memories back? Who's piloting Monokuma? How did Byakuya get here? If Byakuya was here, then it's not out of the realm of possibilities that Nagito is Naegi and Naegi's here as well, but how did Naegi get here? Why did Byakuya not change so much while Naegi is off his rocker now? Who's next? That's the big one. That's the most fun one. Always who's next. And how and why. I think that first case was a little too complex for me to piece it together at the beginning. I got the surface layer things, but I didn't get the twist of... Well, actually, I did. I did say something about it, and then I was like, nah, that's too convoluted for right now for me to commit to. That there was someone under the floor who knew that the scuffle was going to happen between the two of them. That ended up being what the answer was. I am very happy, most of all, though, that the dynamic has heavily shifted from the first game. Because in the first game, Kirigiri occupied a very specific role in terms of, like, meta-narratively speaking. She was the guide. She was the rock character, and it was really setting up Nagito to be that same position. I'm glad that we've shifted now, because who does Hajime trust now? Who does Hajime rely on? Nobody. Who could he trust? Maybe that'll change. Maybe he'll, you know, form another friendship, but I feel like he's going to have to be a little more on his own, and everyone else is going to have to react accordingly. And that's going to mean I, as an audience member, am not going to be going through the same footsteps that we went through in the first game. So that is where my thoughts lie currently. I plan on doing another stream tomorrow, but for anybody who is new here, if you want to know when exactly I am streaming, my Discord is the best way to get that information. Just join, and I can get you the role that you just get a ping every time I go live. And hopefully I'll be able to make it at least through the investigation phase tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to stream tomorrow. That's going to kind of depend on real life. I have some plans for the morning and the afternoon. But if I can do it, I would like to be able to, like, get in earlier in the day, like, kind of in the afternoon, and start, so that I have time for a longer stream. The other factor in that is going to be my health. If I wake up tomorrow and I feel like crap again, then that'll change, but we'll see. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Definitely feeling better today than I did yesterday. So that is going to be it, guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you so much to Nick and Areopolis for the raids. And thank you to Zanuliu and iMaiden now, and anybody else who is joining us for the first time. Really enjoy this game, really enjoy this series, and I will be excited to carry forward into Chapter 2. So that is it. I will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, be kind to one another, be kind to your saves. Be serious, be kind. I mean, do be kind to your saves. Be kind to yourself. And as always, peace out. Good night, everybody.